My name is James Rowlands. In 2015, I teamed up with my friend Dan White to create the WNR podcast. Since then, we have been giving you everything that's happened on the WWE Network. Now, in 2018, not only are we live for the Big Four events and every NXT takeover, but we celebrate 20 years since the birth of the Attitude Era. Plus, every month we'll bring you 205 Live, collections, new content, W pay-per-views and latest news on the WWE Network. Until we've watched everything, we are with you, and we are the WNR. Yes, hello, I am James Rowlands, and as always I'm joined by
Damn right.
And today it's the WNR144 WWE vs WCW 1998 Part 2. So this podcast was so big we split it into two parts. But let's start off with the alternate intro. In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern's light. So that, of course, is from Batman. In 1998, WWE and WCW were locked in a ratings war. Their shows, RAW and Nitro, went head-to-head on Mondays. The past go back 20 years, right in the middle of battle. We followed the war since the inception of Nitro, but now with the Attitude Era getting going and WCW at its peak, it's perfect time to follow it month to month. Well, the main thing on this episode today is, of course, WCW SuperBrawl 1998.
There was a time when darkness fell on WCW, when one man was abandoned, vanished, and another came to rule. Then, good and evil clashed. The darkness was lifted, and WCW became one once again. Now, the battle continues. Out of an army of shadows, the purveyor of good enters the ring once again. To vindicate a wrong that must be right. A man with hatred in his heart seeks to destroy this vindicator from the sky. But can he do so without ruining all that surrounds him?
Okay, so let's begin, and we're going to focus, like we say, 5-point system, which are roster rating, promo matches and setting, and then of course the overall. February 22nd, 1998, from San Francisco, California, we see Tony Schiavone, Bobby Heenan and Mike Tenay on commentary. Dan, what did you think of the opening promo?
Well, it's certainly building up for Hogan versus Sting. You had Sting, the man on top. Hogan came in, and then Sting fought back from the shadows to kind of regain his mantle. Yeah, we were following it last year, weren't we? The whole Sting journey, coming back in the ring to finally face Hogan. He had shenanigans to finish it all off there. So we're hoping tonight here at SuperBrawl we can have a clean finish and an ending to it. Looks like Hogan's more focused on Macho Man and Bret Hart and other people like that, isn't he? And maybe he can let Sting go forward. We'll see. We've got a lot in store here tonight. We have watched on the last episode 4 Nitros leading up to this, so we basically know the card. We'll just run through it quickly because this is what we're looking forward to tonight. We know there's going to be the TV title on the line. Booker T versus Rick Martel will face Saturn later on. Also, the Cruiserweight title on the line, Dan, as well. Yes, we've got Juventud Guerrero challenging Chris Jericho for his Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah, and a rematch for the classic we watched a couple of Nitros ago as well, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Yes, it is Mongo McMichael, James's favourite, against the crackhead British Bulldog.
Yeah, but also DDP defends his US title against Chris Benoit.
We've got the Outsiders defending their titles against the Steiner Brothers.
Yeah, versus Randy Savage, and then of course our main event, Dan.
It is Sting versus Hollywood Hogan for the vacant WCW World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, but we start the pay-per-view with Booker T coming out here, so the TV title is going to be defended. It's going to be Rick Martel and Booker T. And they've been getting behind Booker T recently, haven't they, as we've seen on Nitro?
Yes, well, we'd like to mention as well, there was a dark match beforehand, and it was Ultimo Dragon, and he defeated Shiru, who was with Sonny Ono. And also the match that there was going to be a match between Larry Zbyszko and Louis Spicolli, but Spicoli's death a week before the pay-per-view kind of put an end to that.
Yeah, because I didn't want to go forward to that. Yeah, we mentioned that on Nitro beforehand. So, yeah, Booker T then, Dan, what are your thoughts? We've seen him a lot recently. Been getting behind him. Are they pushing younger talent, maybe?
We all know what Booker T becomes in the future, and it's certainly, shaping up that way to push him for bigger and better things. He was a tag team champion with his brother Stevie Ray. He's kind of broken off from that after a little bit of friction between them two, and he's now making his way as a singles talent, and he is challenging Rick Martel for his TV championship.
Yeah, of course, Martel beating Booker T in the last Nitro that we watched, and that was a little bit of a surprise. So today we're going to see, I say today, on the show is Rick Martel versus Booker T. The winner, of course, has to go and face Perry Saturn later on because we saw what happened. I think for me now, it's good that we're watching the previous Nitros, so then we're getting a lot more backstory than it would be just walking into it blindly, if you know what I mean, like we have done before.
Yeah. So which tertiary title do you think was better? We've got the European Championship over on WWF, and we've got the TV title here on WCW. Which one do you think's the better one?
Well, that's a good question. I think when I was younger, the European title I liked because obviously the European Championship. And when you looked at it like that, you thought, oh, well, at least they're honouring us. But now, as I get older, I like the idea of a TV title because, as we've been seeing with Booker T, defending it basically every show, isn't he? And then any challenger can come along, any veteran like Rick Martel is, or maybe a younger wrestler to get given a chance. It's kind of like the open challenge that we're getting nowadays of that. Whereas the European title is a big deal, but as we've seen on Raw recently, with it being changed hands without it being really defended in a match, what's going on there with it? Shawn Michaels giving it up as well. So I've got to say TV title at the moment. Which way do you sway?
Again, I agree with you, but I think some prestigious names held the European Championship before they went on to the IC title, so it was kind of a stepping stone, like the IC title is for the Heavyweight Championship, stepping stone to the IC title. So, I'm going to have to disagree with you and go for European Championship, A, because we're European,
yes,
and B, because I think it was a kind of a stepping stone.
Yeah. Now, you're entitled to your opinion. It was just at the start. The match has started. Booker T and Martel look like they're going to shake hands, but Booker refused and dumped Martel out. But even as the show starts, we saw a bit of No Way Out in here. For me, WCW itself, just a lot better.
Yeah.
The arena looks bigger as well. And even like the setting that they got the Super Bowl, it's a proper kind of stage that they've created, haven't they, And
it doesn't seem like, they're looking past SuperBrawl, whereas WWE was looking past No Way Out to WrestleMania. I know it is, we saw that as a good thing, but, it's WCW, they're taking each pay-per-view as it comes.
I think this is the thing as well. WCW had the roster like we saw in January with Sold Out, even though Hogan and Sting didn't wrestle on there. They still had the superstars and the talent to actually give it, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, and Kevin Nash and the Giant. So, and WWE's roster was so huge, they could do that. It just meant the politics behind the scenes, people weren't happy that they were missed out, So then we're going to see what happens with it now. But to start the show with Booker T, because a lot of people say, oh, WCW never grew talent, and I think that they definitely did with him, and as we've seen, they get behind him. At the moment, he's in a bit of trouble with Rick Martel, of course, but the roster for me as well, WCW, is just so strong. I know they've got maybe 4 times the size of WWF, but the people they could have used, even though you could argue maybe Rick Martel, would you really want to see him,
No, I think, with the likes of Rick Martel, who's bringing back, I'm going to use this term, because he wasn't really much of a legend in WWE, not that I saw him as, others might disagree with me, but, I think they were just using him for the sake of using him, really.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with it. As Booker goes for the knee, tries to get the cover, but Martel kicks out.
Oh.
Now Booker going to wear him down. We hope the action will pick up in places. But even watching Raw on the last episode, it made me want to watch a bit of Nitro because how poor the wrestling was. If that would be too harsh, but
yeah, well, as we said towards the end of Raw, the storytelling was better, but the wrestling wasn't.
Yeah.
Because with WCW, they had so much going on that it was hard to focus, like the many opponents for Macho Man, the many opponents for Hogan. It's like, come on, just concentrate on one feud at a time.
It's even like this now with the TV title on the line. It's like and Saturn for with Booker T involved, rather than it being a kind of straight up feud. And you could argue that's what you want, but you want it to be personal. With the amount of people involved, multi-man matches, it's like, well, wait a minute. They're trying something here and see if it's successful as they go along. The TV champion was always the workhorse, the guy that would be on every week, and maybe that's what make other titles seem a bit more important. And it's about respecting the title as well. I would say probably the WCW. Well, we get onto that when we have the other matches, but Martel grabs the arm of Booker.
Well, we've had a couple of shots of Saturn sat in the crowd waiting for his time. He's going to go against the winner of this match, be it Booker or be it Martel.
And of course, Raven Flock can always lend a hand there, can't they? With their interference, Loki getting involved. So,
yet again, Booker T has kind of colour matched the setting. It's, he's got red, white and yellow or orangey yellow on his trunks, and it's red and yellow for the SuperBrawl kind of colours.
Yeah. Well, Booker T just threw Rick Martel there, and he hurt his leg landing on that rope. He managed to throw Booker T out of the ring, but he might be struggling, and he is in serious trouble here. Oh, Martel manages to send Booker into the barricade.
And Booker T's in trouble on the outside now, trying to catch his breath. And there's so many NWO t-shirts in the crowd.
Is. Talk about merchandise, there's a Macho Man there as well. And Martel hobbling to the outside.
So what are we thinking of Martel then? Is he still in shape? Has he still got it if he had it before?
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? It's where he does look like he's in shape. I don't know. Like you say, there's never anybody that was really exciting. I know the Shawn Michaels rivalry he had was quite fun. I know before he joined WWE that, a bit of success, but never really kind of to me. It's like, all right, yeah, Rick Martel, cool. But I'd rather see like Booker T versus Saturn. But I think that's just personal opinion, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like anybody could be Rick Martel at the moment. No offense to him, but
yeah.
I care about Booker T. With Martel, it's like, yeah, all right. I think they're just like say they're getting the talent just so they can say, well, look how much talent we got, and we could use this guy to do this.
Yeah.
We'll sign someone that you use in one of your weird groups like DOA, and we'll make him part. That's what WCW could do at this moment in time.
Well, pretty much everyone at some point in their life was a part of the NWO in WCW. I mean, couldn't for the life of you name all the wrestlers that were part of the NWO.
Exactly. If you especially include the other factions as well, then you're in serious trouble. Bit like Rick Martel is at the moment. Booker T hit the spinneroonie. Didn't affect Martel. Yeah, he performed it.
Irish whip from Martel, sending Booker into the corner, but Martel runs in into a big boot. But Booker T comes out, hits a scoop slam. Martel gets the pin, but Booker managing to kick out.
Martel a bit frustrated. He couldn't get Booker down.
I think, with Martel, he's stuck in last generation's wrestling style, whereas Booker T's kind of, progressing into the Attitude Era style wrestler.
Yeah, most definitely. I think what's interesting about that, you talk about Attitude Era wrestling, you can kind of see it over on Raw as well with the kind of weapons and the kind of way they're doing things. Whereas you think Booker can fit into that, and even that kind of where you can turn it up a gear. Can Rick Martel go with Booker T, or is it literally just a wrestling match we've seen 100 times?
So as far as Booker T's talent, where do you stand on that?
Talent?
His talent, yeah.
I think Booker T's a legend and a Hall of Famer. I think it's fantastic what Booker T has done. When you consider the only other guy, well, the only other two that's been as successful as Booker T, when you look at just black athletes, it's been Ron Simmons, who was given a WWE title and what he became, and of course The Rock. Apart from that, there's not many you could say.
Mark
Henry maybe, but Booker T, just look at the success in the tag team ranks, in single competition, the amount of championships he won, to be able to be WCW's kind of focal point when they focused on him moving this, towards the end of the company, and then having to prove himself again in WWE to do that. All credit to Booker. I think for me, he's right up there. Right up there. And now he's going to look to put away Rick Martel.
Martel managing to kick out.
Rick now with a clothesline, getting cocky, going for the cover. Booker gets shoulder up at 2.
I agree with you. Booker T is certainly one of the standout performers from WCW in his time there. You know, he was a great talent, a great worker. I wasn't too sure on his King Booker.
I love
style.
I love King Booker. King Booker.
I didn't like Sharmell either. She irritated me.
He became world champion though, so credit to King Booker. He's going to go scissor kick now with Martel.
But I did thoroughly enjoy him on commentary. He's looking for a diving crossbody. Rick Martel ducked that and Booker T landed on the mat.
Well, Martel's having problems with his leg. Goes up to the second turnbuckle. Oh!
But he gets caught with a leg lariat. 2, 3.
Oh, my word.
And Booker T has won the title of the TV.
There we go. He's the new champion. Martel gets dumped out by Saturn.
And Saturn comes straight in, locks Booker in the rings of Saturn.
And this is going to be it. If this is the start of the match, if bell's ringing at the moment, you're just hurting Booker.
Saturn looks really weird with hair.
He does, doesn't he? You can see it thinning on top at the moment. And we started in a small package. 2. Oh. Booker got shoulder up at 2. There's going to be a lot of 2s. Uh-oh.
1.
Oh, no, that's a 1.
So I think this is good strategy by Saturn, trying to roll Booker up, but his leg's in the ropes.
Well, that ain't going to work, is it? Well, we should say Rick Martel was originally booked to win the match against Booker T. However, he suffered a torn knee ligament after hitting his leg on the ropes after a hip toss from Booker T. So when we saw he injured his leg, we realised how serious it was. And like I said, they reworked the finish and improvised. And they're improvising the entire match right now, as we speak. So Saturn thought he's Martel up until... Saturn's probably sitting there thinking, Booker T just won, fucking hell.
Is that why he started going after Martel when he first came into the ring?
Yeah, Martel, no. And now Saturn's going to fully focus on Booker T.
Well, let's see if we can tell if this was an improvisation or if they'd planned any of this.
Irish whip by Saturn.
Throws him into the corner. Booker T with a roll-up. Goes for the cover. 2. Oh, but Saturn with the kick out.
There'll be a lot of heads together. There'll be a lot of talking in this match.
We've gone down on... We've gone down on Rick Martel. We've gone down on Booker T. Saturn, where do you stand on Perry Ulysses Saturn?
Well, you start with Saturn, seeing as I did Booker.
Well, I've never been that impressed Saturn either. Well, I say either. You know, he's I don't know. He's just not one of these. I don't know if he was given a bad break when he was in WWE. You know, he wasn't the standout member of Raven's flock when he was in that. He came over as part of the Radicals. Wasn't a standout member in that either. He's kind of like, you know, the 4th member of 4 that I choose as a better worker. I don't know, you know. I know he got given with the moppy gimmick.
I know. Sorry, go on. Finish.
But, you know, I don't know. I just didn't really rate him as a performer.
The thing about Saturn, I didn't mind Saturn because I watched a bit when he was in ECW with John Cronus as the Eliminators, and they were quite a good tag team. There's a moment where Saturn's they have a scaffold match and he jumps off the scaffold, Elbow stood in the ring, but they hated each other. And this is what Perry did a lot of, that he was quite an angry person. He used to be a Texas Ranger, so he never in a good mood anyway. And like you say, when your tag team partner hates you think you've got a bit of problems. He went over to WCW, part of Raven Flock. I don't think he's too bad in this role. I think he did lack a bit of personality, to be fair. But they did give him a good crack of the whip. And like I said, went to the WWE. And I think he was alright at first. But the problem was there was I think like a heat or a velocity match. I think you would have seen it. If not, just Google like Perry Saturn goes ape shit in the ring. And he gets this jobber guy and he accidentally does something to him. And then he throws him hard way. It hits, you know, hurts the guy. Apparently the punishment was moppy. That's why. So he was giving Moppy to do that. But, you know, with Perry Saturn, who knows what happened? He couldn't control his shit. So at the end of the day, you're not going to get opportunities, are you?
Well, he's a former ECW World Tag Team Champion, WCW World Tag Team Champion, WCW World TV Champion, WWF European Champion, and WWF Hardcore Champion.
Well, I think there's loads of hardcore champions.
Yes.
Well, Saturn has taken over for Booker, but as I say that, Booker finally reversing a move. Saturn gets his legs up. Booker picks him up.
Oh, slams Saturn onto the mat. Can't quite capitalise on the cover though, as he's been worked down most of the match.
And then this is what Saturn's been doing, suffocating Booker T. Booker T just come off a 10-minute match with Rick Martel, and Saturn knows that he's in probably better physical shape right now. Booker might want to go on, but his body may fail him. Oh my God, Saturn there, jumping over the top right on Booker T. Well, Saturn, beautiful dive on the outside, throws Booker T in. Looks to be in control, but Booker now, a flying lariat. Both men down. Oh my God, Booker T just landed on the back of his head there. Looked to go for that diving kick, but Saturn had it scouted.
Goes for the cover. Booker T, it doesn't look like he kicked out.
Ah.
But the referee stopped counting.
I think he was near the ropes there, so maybe referee thought to be fair to Booker, who gets put on the top turnbuckle now. Here we go, back suplex. Oh! Referee Randy Anderson might not be. Saturn, nah, I'm not counting that.
Again, Saturn going for another pinfall really close to the ropes.
Yeah, but Saturn's crazy, man. Like, you know, Saturn don't care what's going on. He's a bit mental, isn't he? A bit crazy,
Is it the fact that he's a bit crazy, or is it the fact that he's a bit of a shitting ring worker?
I don't think he's too bad. I think we've seen worse. You know.
We've definitely seen worse.
Yeah.
Mongo and Bulldog.
No, don't forget, Saturn, oh my God. Saturn just got suplexed down. Booker T on the top now.
Oh, a lovely missile drop kick there from the Bookman. Taking Saturn down. Can he capitalise on this?
Well, Saturn was there with Benoit, Guerrero, and Blenko, wasn't he? So if they accepted into the group, he must not have been a bad worker. That's all I'm saying. Not too bad. Maybe he was there to make him look good. Like Jared. Look at now, Irish whip. Saturn. Oh! Well, Booker thought he had the job done, but Saturn reversing it now into a T-bone suplex. This is better than the Rick Martel match.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Saturn's a better worker than Rick Martel.
Even improvising. I'd have absolutely hated it if Rick Martel hadn't got injured and it was Saturn versus Rick Martel.
Yeah, 15-minute Rick Martel versus Saturn match. Well, just glad I'm seeing Booker.
Lovely belly-to-belly overhead suplex there, but Saturn going for another cover. Booker T managing to kick out.
Saturn's got impressive suplexes, which is not easy to say. They're talking through it. Oh, Saturn, boot up, springboard. Oh!
Moonsault.
And now both men to the feet.
Oh, Booker T with a bit of a fumble there. He was looking to bounce springboard off the top rope. Goes for a crossbody. Saturn sidestepped it. Goes for his own cover. Pinning Booker up, but only a 2 count.
2 count. And now sleeper in for Saturn. He's going to send Booker to sleep. Crowd's gone a little bit quiet at the moment. I think they're just waiting for their time for comeback. Mike Tenay telling us about Rick Martel's injury.
Torn MCL.
Booker T fighting back now. Dodges Saturn, make that twice.
Oh, and a double crossbody, which pleases James no end. I'm a bit surprised that the flock haven't stuck their noses into this match as of yet.
Maybe Saturn said to them, "Hey, flock, I'm going to do it myself."
Flock off.
He's actually been impressive in Nitro.
Saturn there with a scoop slam on Booker.
Yeah, Randy Orton-esque.
No, nothing like Randy.
It was Randy Orton-esque. It's beautiful. He's down. What the fuck's Booker T doing? What's Booker T doing?
Sidewalk slam. Spin-a-rooney time. Nope, going up top time.
Is it Houston hangover time? Oh!
Oh, Perry Saturn dodges out of the way.
And now Saturn picking up a lifeless Booker T. Northern Lights.
Bridges out 1, 2.
Oh!
But Booker managing to kick out.
Saturn's not finished him yet. Picks him up again. Oh! Low German suplex. Booker getting out at 2.
2. Lovely bridge there by Saturn. Oh, going for a third. Booker T rolling out.
Hit the kick. 1, 2, 3. That's the kick that put Rick Martel away, and he beats Booker T. The fans seem to be happy. Dan, what do you think of the match?
It was a lot better than the first match. Yeah, great work for, someone that I don't really get on with. Saturn, well, not that we don't get on, there's nothing personal against
beef
him.
in this podcast, yeah.
But no, it was especially for something off the cuff as well.
Yeah,
between these two, it was really well worked between the two. A bloody good match, yeah.
Yeah, and it makes Booker T look like a star. He's beaten 2 men in a row. He's been wrestling for the first half hour of this pay-per-view. It's all good in my books, I think it's a great way to start. Well, we're backstage now with, of course, the legend that is
Mike Tenay.
Well, we see Chris Jericho on WCWWrestling.com's table getting asked a question by Mark Madden about his thoughts tonight. Of course, it will be Jericho versus Hoovy Mask versus title. But up next, it is, I believe, is that La Parka coming out here now? Yep, so it's La Parka coming out here. The chairman of WCW.
I see what you did there.
You see what I did there? And recent times, during a Disco Inferno match, La Parka came out with the steel chair and made an enemy of Disco. Disco got a bit of retribution last week when he hit I'm going to call it a stunner, but I've known they got a name for it. It led to this match. Hang on a minute, two more. It's Disco Inferno. Alright, so Disco's out here. We're going to get started, but tell me about La Parka, Dan. Fill anybody in that don't know him. I mean, he was quite a fixture for WCW, but anybody I'm not sure.
He's best known throughout the years as La Parka, especially from his many years in WCW. He was forced to change his ring name from La Parka to L.A. Parker, short for La Authentica Park, the original park, in early 2003. He's a three-time world champion.
Ooh.
He had the IWC World Heavyweight Champion, IWC World Hard Champion, and the IWL World Heavyweight Championships all at once.
Oh my fuck. What did he do in WCW then? Match has started, La Parka's gone straight after Disco. Disco hasn't even got his top off yet. La Parka now, oh, that is a lovely power slam. And now he's dancing away, he's mocking Disco Inferno. And La Parka...
Played WCW, he was there for 4 years.
Oh.
Funnily enough, he was nicknamed the chairman of WCW due to the fact that he often carried a chair to the ring and played air guitar on it during his entrances and generally used it both in matches and in post-match celebrations.
Yeah, and he's been using it recently, so there you go. And Disco's trying to stop that. So La Parka did do a lot in WCW, but I think people liked it because different character. Not many dudes dress up as skeletons, swing chairs, and dance around like this, do they? You know, so
well, he's not had a good run-in with Goldberg. In June '98, he tore his ACL while receiving a spear from Goldberg. The injury kept him out of the ring until September '98. In '99, on an episode of Thunder, Goldberg ripped La Parka's arm out of his socket after a botched move.
Fucking hell. So Goldberg and La Parka don't send each other Christmas cards.
Certainly not, no.
And La Parka's just dumped Disco Inferno to the outside. He's in trouble. We talk about La Parka being there. Disco Inferno was in WCW for absolute years. Never made it to WWE. We don't need it. We've got Fandango now. Fandango's like an upgrade on Disco.
Perhaps.
Well, he is, yeah. La Parka sends Disco Inferno to the barricade and clotheslines him.
Is he dead or is he alive?
Disco, he's alive. Glenn Gilberti. Yeah, he was in TNA as well when it first started, 2002.
Well, he was in WWE for 6 years. He became a one-time Cruiserweight champion, a two-time TV champion, and a one-time tag team champion.
Disco waiting in the ring for La Parka to recover.
Oh, gets hung up on the top rope, though. Now La Parka's in a bit of control. Oh, running kick to the midsection. Follows that with a kick to the back of the head.
That might be a knockout kick. Rolls over, might be too close to the ropes.
Well, very close to the ropes. Disco had his feet wrapped round the middle rope.
La Parka checking with the referee.
I think the WCW ring's a bit too small.
Yeah, I think it is smaller. And I don't like turnbuckles like that. What do you think? Let's talk turnbuckles.
The turnbuckles look cheap.
I
don't know about having the name of the event written across the ring either.
I quite like that, but I don't like the apron being blank. You know what I mean? If they're going to do that, do the outside aprons.
But that ring looks really dirty. But anyway.
Then again, 20 years ago, rings were expensive.
Yeah.
La Parka dropped toe hold to Disco Inferno, now looking to roll him up for the cover. But again,
very
close to the ropes, yeah. We'll see if that's a problem as we go on. Oh my God, hard chop there by La Parka. On the Parker now mocking Disco Inferno again. Gonna Irish rip Disco, but Disco managing to dodge out the way. No, he's not. He gets hit by a drop kick. Sent down to the canvas. Parker goes for the cover, but too cocky, and of course, Disco gets his shoulder up at 2. There's no urgency to this pay-per-view, sir.
No, definitely not. It seems like they're dragging it out. I mean, we've had 30-minute match to start off with. I know it was divided up into 2 kind of matches, but
it's still the same, yeah.
And then we've got this match between Disco and La Parka. It just doesn't seem to have any substance to it.
No, I know they've had a kind of recent rivalry, but yeah, exactly, no hatred. And Disco sending La Parka in, lands on his neck. A back elbow, but yeah, no real way. Going for the cover, La Parka kicks out. It's not too great this at the moment, but La Parka, the boots.
A kick to the forehead for Disco as well.
And we have still got so much to come. We've still got another, 10 matches or whatever it is. Disco trying to dodge La Parka.
Well, deposits him to the outside, but La Parka landed on the apron. Hops his way over the top, and Hurricane Rana's Disco to the outside.
Did Disco hurt his knee there on the outside when he got thrown across? They are
wafer thin, James. Yes, you're correct.
And the Parker's going to fly.
Flies out, takes out Disco Inferno, lands on his own knees.
Oh my God. And again, the fans who might not have been ready for that. There's small children there, God damn it.
Well, it is good to see that they've, through the times, they kind of upgraded it. I know they went for a while with just a cover over the barricades, and then they upgraded them to having some kind of protective casement over them as well. Yeah.
And we're going to see that change in WWF, and we'll see what happens in WCW at the moment. I still think WCW is winning. It's just they could do a little bit of improvements around ringside as well. I quite like the announce table being far away from the ring and stuff like that. The announcers having their own little spot, so to speak.
Well, that kind of separates them. So I know it's kind of on the entranceway anyway, and they do have some interaction when they're coming down the ring if they've got to be a beef with certain wrestlers. But no, it's far enough out of the way. But then you don't see many people getting put through the announce table.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot less hardcore at the moment in WCW than there is in WWF. You can see they're trying different things, whereas I think they've got the wrestling. Yeah, even though the wrestling quality is not great sometimes on Nitro, it's still better, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've just seen La Parka sent into the ring post, and now Disco with a clothesline, but still can't put him away.
No, La Parka getting his shoulder up at 2.
2.
Irish Rip attempt reversed by La Parka, but Disco goes low. A lovely swinging net breaker.
A lot of Disco ball swinging away. Can he get him down? Ooh, booty. 2, sorry. Kick out.
2.
I got through penis. What? Now Disco not even making contact with those kicks. Sorry, stomping a mud hole in La Parka there.
Did he inadvertently hit the referee?
I think referee got poked to the eye accidentally, and La Parka going outside to find his friend.
His tag team partner. He is the chairman of the WCW.
And here he comes slowly but surely. Referee's taking his sweet ass time.
Don't call me Shirley, but yes, he is.
Into the ring, he's going to introduce it to Disco's face.
No, referee still can't see it, and Disco is seated now. And what is La Parka got planned?
Referee turns round, he sees what's going on.
But he's saying, there's nothing I can do, because, he's on a chair. Oh, no. Disco pushes out La Parka's legs.
Crutches him on top.
Okay, which way is this going to go?
Terribly.
Trying to superplex, but La Parka hanging on.
Disco's trying to fight out of it, but La Parka's perched up top, snapping Disco. And he gets thrown face first into the steel metal chair.
Oh, nothing referee can do about it.
Oh, now he decides to get out after La Parka's gone face first into it. And a Disco stunner.
There we go. Hits it on La Parka. Gets the job done. I was just thinking then, the Saturn Booker T, they called it on the spot. I think they did exactly the same with this match. This was fucking something else. But not maybe, Dan, you thought different. What do you think of this match?
There was a few not bad moments in there, but again, it does look like it was called on the fly. There was as I say, there was a few impressive moves in there, but no, it wasn't the greatest of matches. I thought it was a bit drawn out, a bit slapdash put together.
Yeah, no, me too. And, there's other talent that could be used for this pay-per-view, but instead they chose the Parker and Disco. Would these be the future of WCW? No. So, what can you do? But hopefully it improves as we move on. So, we'll see a couple of highlights of that match. That was a long-ass match as well, wasn't it,
It was, yes. It was an 11-minute, 41-second.
I felt every second of that 11 minutes and 47 seconds.
Well, the total time for the Booker T match, he defeated Martel in 10 minutes, 23 seconds. He defeated Perry Saturn in 14 minutes, 23 seconds.
Fucking hell. So 25 minutes there.
So nearly 26 minutes.
But Disco gets a victory. Fair play to him. That's Nick Patrick standing next to JJ Gillen. The thing is, if they spent more time on the wrestlers and the stories like that, not fucking on officials and authority figures, then you might have done something right. I mean, Nick Patrick is getting focused on here. Do you care if Nick Patrick is going to be referee or not, even though he was involved in that thing at Starrcade?
No, well, I kind of understand where you're coming from, but this is a time when they was focused a bit on the referees. I know referees are 90% nameless nowadays.
Yeah.
They have less of a role in anything in the matches, but there was a time where you had a snidey referee, you had a WCW referee during the invasion. They kind of throw their calls. You had the referee from the NWA in the WWE. So they're kind of like making everyone a part of it, but now it's more focused on the wrestling and so on and so forth.
Yeah, no, I suppose you're right. I shouldn't be so negative. We move on, and it is next match, Brad Armstrong. Now, this strapping young man, he's part of the Armstrong family, and of course, his brother is
Road Dogg.
Yeah, Road Dogg.
He looks a bit like him.
He does look like the Road Dogg. Yeah, his brother's the Road Dogg. He's coming out here. Pat Armstrong, the Armstrong curse, is apparently Brad Armstrong never getting a chance at a chance at the top in WCW or, in fact, WWE. He wrestled Ric Flair back in the territory days, 10 years ago or so, and never successful, really. We have seen Brad Armstrong in action. He lost to Goldberg a couple of weeks ago, and he thinks he can do a better job here tonight.
So, James, Brad Armstrong, dead or alive?
Alive. He's got to be alive.
He's dead. He died in 2012.
Oh, fucking what did he die of?
His heart stopped beating.
Oh, shit, stop breathing.
I will find out for you.
You missed.
He was found dead in his Georgia home after seeing a physician the previous week for an undisclosed medical issue. His former Lightning Express tag team partner and best friend, Tim Horner, speculated that Armstrong died from a heart attack.
His heart stopped. Look at this man coming out here through the actual fireworks and the pyro even. It is Bill Goldberg, and what an impressive man mountain this is. People might call him a stone cold rip-off, but the intensity of this guy when he gets in between those ropes, even coming out here, it's something else, Dan, isn't it?
Yeah, to compare him to Austin, when I first saw him, I thought, bald head, goatee beard, black trunks, Austin rip-off. But, Austin and Goldberg are probably two more polar opposites. The only thing they have in common is neither of them, and they're both admitting it, they weren't the greatest workers in ring.
Yeah, and we know Bill Goldberg is still green at this point, but he's looking to extend his undefeated streak, and he features at yet another pay-per-view.
Yes, I'll be the first to admit he's still Bill Greenberg.
Yeah, like it. And Armstrong, I don't think he's going to win a power battle. He's going to try and outwit Goldberg. The closest we've come to seeing it here on the podcast is Steven Regal a couple of weeks ago. And Goldberg trying to break the leg of Brad Armstrong.
Trying to tear his ACL.
Oh, and Armstrong trying to run into Goldberg. That's a mistake. Oh, look at the power.
And he lifts him up with relative ease. Drops him over to his shoulder to a power slam.
That is one of my favourite power moves there. Gorilla Press slams him down. This might be over before it's even started. No, play with him a bit more. Oh, fucking hell.
Look to the ref and he's like, you've still got a minute or so.
Yeah, a bit more. And he throws Armstrong back in the corner. Knee to the midsection.
Throws him to the opposite corner with such force. Oh, a lovely belly-to-belly overhead.
And that was unassisted, meaning Brad Armstrong didn't have to be thrown over the top there.
Nah, but Brady's starting to fight back. A kick to the knee. and a few punches and kicks to the midsection, followed up by a poke to the eye.
Oh, and he gets Goldberg down.
With a side Russian leg sweep, and he is very happy with himself.
That's impressive. Uh-oh.
He turns around into Goldberg.
Oh!
Pump and handled exploder suplex. James, have you ever seen that before?
No, I haven't. Don't turn around, Armstrong.
Oh! And he follows it up with a thunderous spear.
Well, I think it's only going to go one way now. Oh,
well,
that's
James,
incredible.
Jack him up.
Yeah. Oh, look at the power.
And hammer him down.
Oh, one arm.
1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Says you're like a man who doesn't get paid by the minute.
That's how I play when I play SmackDown versus Raw. That is SmackDown versus Raw. When I'm playing 2K18, that is the shit I'm doing. The power moves
Like
in
Brad
that.
Armstrong.
Yeah. Power moves, my word. So impressive with Goldberg. You have to fear for the next man in line. Where you have to fear whoever's next. Look at this. Gorilla press. Bang. Bang. No fucking chance.
That is the man who 20 years later go on to beat Brock Lesnar in record time.
It's amazing to think. And this is where it all started for Goldberg. This is just a beginning for him. He's only been around, like we say, since September of '97. So only a few months, but just growing every week.
He's starting to see why I liked him so much.
Oh, you fucking hell, yeah. This is unlike anything we've seen. You know, like you talk about long-winded matches. No, Goldberg came, saw, destroyed, left, and it just makes you want to see him again and again. It would make me want to tune into Nitro and the pay-per-views week in, week out to see what the fuck he was up to.
I'm the first to admit he hasn't been against the most formidable of opponents. I think, he's still up there with the equivalents of Kane and Undertaker, as dominant forces.
Yeah, he is.
But in some ways he kind of, I don't know, he doesn't seem to be challenged as much as them though.
This is the thing that we're going to hopefully see as 98 continues, We talk about Kane, maybe the Undertaker comes back and fights him with Goldberg, who is going to be there, and
who is going to be next.
Exactly, and how high can he reach in WCW. But up next, it is the Cruiserweight title on the line. Mask versus Cruiserweight. Mask versus title. Hoovy versus Jericho. And that's given the pay-per-view a shot of life in the arm now, hasn't it,
Yeah.
Here comes the Cruiserweight champion, Dan. And do you know what he's doing as he comes to the ring? You'll never guess what he's doing. He is smirking.
No, James, he has not got a cigarette in his gob. He has got a smile upon his face.
And he's got the Cruiserweight Championship around his... As he comes out here, looking to take the mask of Juventud Guerrera.
Of Hoovy's face.
Of Hoovy's face. There you go. Will he be able to get it here tonight? This should be a cracking match up. The Cruiserweights in action. Of course, Rey Mysterio was injured by Jericho at the last pay-per-view. Will he look to be doing...
What's that, my love?
Will he look to be doing in Juventud Guerrera here tonight? Can the Lionheart continue his Cruiserweight title reign? He does want to take his title off.
He doesn't. He'll with his belt around his waist.
We saw a fantastic tag team match, didn't we, on Nitro with Jericho teaming up with Eddie Guerrero against Malenko and Chris Benoit. Hoping the action is just as crisp here. Hopefully we've got rid of the trash of Goldberg. Psyched us up now for the rest of the good pay-per-view. You've got a huge main event, Sting and Hogan to look forward to.
So it is indeed the Juice versus the Goat.
Well, here we go. I think, do you know something, right? We can talk about it now. We're recording this in 2018, start of 2018. Jericho in the last couple of years has gone from like a superstar who I thought was, a Hall of Fame definitely and a good wrestler to an all-time great now, what he's achieved. Not only with Aleister Jericho again reinventing himself, but the whole thing with New Japan and becoming like this real fucking legend. It is with Chris Jericho. You look at the history, what he's done in ECW, WCW, WWE, and everywhere else now. Even with Fozzy, you've got to credit to Jericho.
Yeah.
And, I've been a bit harsh on Jericho on this podcast, and I'm not going to lie to you, but now I've got to kind of bow down to the greatness, especially we talk about on Raw, young Rock and seeing him come up. It's exactly the same with Chris Jericho that we're seeing here, this kind of building foundations.
Well, the man that would go on to defeat not only The Rock, but Stone Cold in the same night to become the first ever undisputed heavyweight champion.
And it's not about his problems, we're going to document, Jericho's move across to WWF next year when it eventually happens. And you'll see, his trouble at the start and trying to get himself over now because it's a completely different, type. For me, if WCW to WWF, you got to try a lot harder than you do if you're a WWF guy getting signed to WCW. You just get put in it. Look at Rick Martel, just do what you want to do. Brian Adams, you just like, put into the NWO, he'll be all right. Whereas I think you got to work for your role. We heard it a bit from Big Show, the Giant, didn't it, when he went over? We'll talk about that next year as well, but when he went over there, it's like, right, you have to earn your victories as opposed to, you just get given a spot.
Well, did these two force WCW? I mean, they made the jump before the invasion angle.
Yep.
They was both a pivotal part of the invasion angle as well.
I think they realised they weren't going to get any further up the card. I think with Chris Jericho, being a cruiserweight champion, they probably thought he's, cruiserweight, might go for the US title if you want, but it'll never be a WCW champion, though. And I think a lot of these cruiserweights, it was a kind of the same thing. And Eric Bischoff at this point in time didn't like wrestlers with the masks, even though he brought Mexican wrestlers in. He wanted to show the reason why, the mask was on the line. This one with Rey Mysterio and these other guys as well. And it's kind of a weird thinking about it. He kind of took away what was special about the cruiserweights as well,
What's Jericho doing? I mean, he's getting counted out on the outside. He sticks his head up, has a quick look round, and then lays it back down again.
Well,
he's doing it for a third time there.
A count-out victory is a title defence, isn't it? So that means Hoovy might win the match, but Jericho would still be Cruiserweight champion.
Well, if Hoovy knows what's going on and bring him back into the ring, which he finally does after a count of 7.
We should say Jericho got there thanks to Hoovy Hurricane Runner him, maybe a little bit untidily to the outside. Hoovy's tried to take control early on. Jericho's not really seemed to trouble up until this point.
So, again, we've commented on wrestlers. Juventud Guerrero, where do you think he stands with you?
I was thinking about this, weirdly enough, the other day, Juventud Guerrero, because Mexicals came into my head, and I thought, oh yeah, wasn't that a group with Psychosis and Hoovy? What happened? I looked it up, and Hoovy's attitude basically got him fired from the WWE, And when that's a problem, you think to yourself, how big an ego, or who do you think you actually are? Don't get me wrong, he might have been successful in Mexico, little bit of success in WCW, but you ain't, like we've talked about, you ain't nothing until you've proven yourself on the biggest stage possible. And with an attitude, it's never gonna work out for you,
Just look at Enzo.
Exactly, look at Enzo. I mean, Hoovy at this point is 21 years old. And spoiler alert, when he does lose the mask, he's not a bad-looking guy either. So you just got to think about the kind of your promos and your stuff like who you associate with. I'm sure Conan was in his ear as well. It's just bad life choices, Like, you look at him and Mysterio, there's not a lot of difference, really. It's just, I think it's how you present yourself as well in a weird. But like with Jericho,
in a parallel timeline, in a parallel universe, Juventud might have been given the push that Mysterio was.
And that's why. Was it backstage politics, or was it just because of performances? And fucking hell!
Wow, and Jericho just used the steps as kind of like a stepping stone to try and take out Juventud, but Juventud was wise to it, caught Jericho, hung him up throat first on the barricade on the outside.
And that might be the match turner right there. If Hoovy can get Jericho in the ring, maybe capitalise on it.
Keep his mask and capture the Cruiserweight Championship.
And springboards in, crossbody.
But Jericho, slightly bigger wrestler, he gets him in a pump-handled tombstone.
But he can't get the cover because his throat still hurts from the attack. Using the ropes now, finally getting it. 1, 2, oh.
Well, UV managing to kick out.
But I felt if you been quicker with that, it might be match over. Now he seems a bit frustrated.
Kicks Hoovy to the head, trying to usher him up to his feet.
But that's what Jericho's all about. Like I said, he never lost sight of who he was, even whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to see Jericho. He's not changed his character so much, whether he's a face, whether he's a heel, whatever he's going for, He's always been the same cocky style Jericho who, he likes the fans. I remember a match he was in, when he returned recently and they was chanting, "You've still got it," and he just chanted back, "I've never lost it, baby."
There's a thing in my head that I count how great a wrestler is by the amount of things he can do, and not just in ring, but the amount of characters that you can change being the same guy. And it's like being the badass, being the guy that comes out and beats everybody up. You can try and get away with that and do that. Be the cocky guy who always flaunting around doing that's what Jericho does best. You know, he could be the clown, the guy that has the list. Jericho has the scarf, takes piss and stuff like that, and can still get the job done. You know, we've seen the serious side of Jericho. We've seen the all these different facets of the Chris Jericho character. Even when the Trish feud with Christian, when it was about a woman and stuff like this as well. You know, Stephanie McMahon feud when he adapted to that.
He had a great feud with Shawn Michaels as well. I think it was 2002 Royal Rumble, 2003.
Yeah, when he finally had that WrestleMania match in WrestleMania 19, 2003. Yeah. But even later on with Michaels again, when he punched Michaels' wife in 2008, when he had that feud over the world title, you know. So, Jericho is fantastic, and even this match here, you know, means more to me than any of the other matches that we've seen so far, maybe barring Goldberg, just because what Jericho's doing with the character, you know, he's obviously mocking these wrestlers, and you want to see him get his comeuppance. You know, I think more fans are interested in seeing Jericho get hurt in this match than they are Hoovy winning, if you know what I mean, in a weird way.
Yeah, but you know, he's a quick thinker, he's a quick talker. He's, you know, I think he has, when it comes to being a complete wrestler, he has got it there. You know, he's a brilliant in-ring worker. He's a brilliant talker. He's got, you know, a character. He's, you know, it's. Everything about him is just great.
Well, yeah, and the interest is that if he'd have stayed on with WCW, would he eventually become, you know, a main eventer and a world champion? Would he be able to change it at all? You know, for WCW, was Jericho? Did he have that wide appeal? Maybe you say no, he wouldn't, but it's the kind of thing of you never know, do you? If
you never know. But then again, you know, I think he might have been discredited, like, you know, with the likes of DDP. He was a great worker and he's really well respected in the WCW, but when he made WWE during the Invasion time, he was Undertaker's wife's stalker.
Exactly. So it depends what you're given, and it depends how you use it, and come through the hard parts as well on the other side. We've seen Juve try to hit Havoc and Ron, and Jericho dropping down an electric chair, and then just now
it was just, well, it looks like he was going up for a moonsault or a lionsault, as Jericho would call it, and no, lionsault's when he springboarded, wasn't it?
Yep.
He was looking to go for a moonsault, but Juve drop kicked him from behind, and Jericho kind of tumbled out the ring, looked to be walking away, but Juve done a suicide dive, took out Jericho.
I think it was a springboard over the top. I mean, literally, Jericho was about a quarter of the way down the entranceway.
Yeah. Juve just flew after him,
which is impressive in its own right. Juve throws him in now. Of course, I also like Juve because of his finisher called the Juve Driver. I like a wrestler where their name is literally just a move, you know. It's always fun for me.
Like the RKO.
Oh my God, hits the Juve Driver. There we go, it's over. And now...
I don't think, you know, he probably feels it's not enough to put Y2J away, so he's going up top.
450 time. Oh!
Hits the 450.
1, 2... Oh no!
Jericho, again, too close to the bottom rope.
Yeah.
Jericho got his hand out.
Well,
Juve thinks he's won the match and kept his mask, but the referee's trying to tell him.
Bell rang as well. The referee said no, he did get a hand on the ropes. And now Jericho's recovered. Oh.
Goes down low, takes Juve's leg out. Sees the opportunity.
And this might be, I say, beginning of the end. Picks Juve up. Uh-oh, Juve turns.
Through. Jericho managing to kick out.
Jericho must be getting frustrated, but a clothesline then. Nearly from hell. No. Juve gets his shoulder up at 2.
2.
Jericho again, trying to that maybe German suplex front forward now. Oh!
Oh, wow, he's looking for a powerbomb of some sorts, but Juve turned it into a lovely DDT. Plants Jericho, turns him over for the cover. 2.
Oh!
Jericho managing to get his shoulder up at 2.
2. I think that's the closest we've come here in this match. Juve put Jericho up on the top. Jericho pushed him off, come diving down, but Juve now has been placed on the top rope.
Oh, now in a very precarious position. Juve springs boards in. Hurricane Rana as Jericho is perched on the top rope.
2. He's got him, but no, he didn't cover
reverses, but Juve rolls through, goes for another pinfall. Jericho powers out.
Yeah, you don't see that often. Turns it into Dragon. Oh, I was about to say Dragon
inverted suplex there.
Come on, baby. Jericho, put him away.
See, nowadays Jericho would have landed on his feet.
Lion salt right on the stomach. Here comes Juve running in.
Wheelbarrow. Oh, but Jericho catches him, plants him. looking for the walls of Jericho, but Hoovy turns it into a pinning combination, but unable to get Jericho's shoulders down.
And now Jericho doesn't really know where he is. Hoovy's taking advantage. Jericho versus Irish Whip. Picks him up. Oh, Hurricane Runner.
No, Jericho catches it, turns it into the Lion Tamer.
Oh, my God. And look at the way Hoovy's positioned right in the middle of the ring. He's got no choice.
He verbally says, I give in. I lose my mask.
I'm a loser. I can't get out of this. But the damage might have been done. But Jericho, unbelievably, not only retains his cruiserweight title, was clean, really, as you can say.
Yeah, he's also captured the movie.
I think that was quite a good match, actually.
That was, a very entertaining match. There was a couple of little faults in it, but no, I thought it was a really well-worked match between both men.
I think it's the best match of the night so far.
Yeah, well, as far as works go, that's the best match I've seen. But, if you're going on a dominance streak, then the Goldberg match.
Well, now Jericho's got the mic. So let's see what horrible disfigurement Hoovy's got. Well, this is the biggest sign of disrespect in Mexican wrestling, having your mask taken. You're not allowed to wear it again after you've been taken from you.
Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, I know, it's disgusting, isn't it? Oh, and he gets the mask yanked off him. And oh my God. And what do you think of his face, Dan?
A very handsome young man.
He is a handsome young man. Piercing eyes. But he's let everybody down, including Mexican wrestling. But at least Jericho's cruiserweight champ.
A bloody good match between the two of them, and it's a sad sight to see a Mexican lucha-style wrestler losing his mask.
Yeah, it is, but the Jericho phenomenon carries on, and I am definitely Jerichoholic. We'll be following this closely. But now we move on to our next match, and this should be great. Been waiting for a very long time. The rematch of all rematches. Steve Mongo McMichael versus my man, the British Bulldog. And these guys have been feuding over the past couple of weeks. I mean, Dan, what are your thoughts on the first match that you saw?
Terrible.
No, but how terrible? On a scale of 1 to 10?
-15.
It might have been the worst thing I've ever seen, but hopefully they've improved. They've been brawling backstage and stuff, because don't forget, Steve Mongo McMichael came out and said that he wants to get his knee deep in some boys. He wants to get knee deep in boys, and then Bulldog came out and said he wants a bone to chew on. He wants a big bone, and McMichael's that bone. Manchester, England. And look at him coming out here. Draped to the Union Jack flag. That is fantastic. Look at that. Bulldog, WCW. He looks in great shape. Sure, he might have had a little bit of something before the show started.
His eyes look glazed over like he's been eating donuts.
Oh. Well, McMichael's actually been eating donuts. So I suppose that's... Stop shaking fucking hands, Bulldog. What have I told you? Don't need to come out and introduce yourself to everybody. Know who you are. If not, look at your trunks. So, Bulldog McMichael, this is going to be absolutely fantastic. We thought Goldberg and Jericho were entertaining. We ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, straight to it. Look at that beautiful drop toe hold by the Bulldog. Forearm. Irish whip.
Reversal. Boot to the midsection.
Oh, he's going for it early.
Tilt-a-whirl slam.
And the commentator's talking about the rest of the card during this match.
McMichael stamping on the heart of Bulldog.
Of course, Bulldog would die of a heart attack. And McMichael choking Bulldog on that second rope. McMichael backing Bulldog up. Now rocking him with a huge right hand. Of course, people might not know Steve McMichael, former NFL player with the Chicago Bears, and his son is Mojo Rawley. As he slams down Bulldog, that's where he gets the awful, shit wrestling, fucking terrible character from.
Oh, Mongo looking for a leg drop. Misses wildly, and Bulldog there focusing on the leg. He could barely stand up, bless him.
Another come at Michael. It is going to be tough in this match. Get your breath back, Bulldog. What's he going for? What the hell is he trying to do? Why has he not got the legs in position properly? And he's got a sharpshooter. Maybe a shout out to Brett.
It's a bit low, isn't it?
It's not very good at all. But hey. Oh, Bulldog's suffering, isn't he? Yeah, I mean, he's stuff at the moment. But it's the best British import, into the WWF that we ever had. So, you got to cut him some slack. Bulldog's been there and done that.
Meh.
What? No, he is. He is. Without him, we've had no British representative, apart from Lord Alfred Hayes in the first 30 years in WWF.
Regal.
It was Steve Regal WCW, wasn't he? Bulldog was WWF, and he was in the main event of SumSlam. Steve Regal never main event.
Because it was in England.
Yeah, but Regal never main event the pay-per-view, did he? You got to think, Bulldog. How many times did he challenge for a WWE title? Loads of times. I can think of at least 10 at the top of my head. But let's go back to this match now. I don't want to make anybody listen to us forget about what's going on in this ring. Mongo taking down Bulldog. Dan, walk me through what's going on. Come on now.
Mongo is working over Bulldog. He's rubbing his face into the mat. And that is typical Four Horsemen style. I mean, that is the quality that the Four Horsemen had. No, it's not. It's not at all. The Four Horsemen were great workers.
Yeah. But Steve McMichael made that group. That's what's going to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh, McMichael now, look at that double axe smash. Off the apron there. My word.
Followed by a kick to the arm and a couple of thunderous blows to the back. And Mongo with some kicks to the midsection of Bulldog as he's down both men there on the outside. Bulldog struggling to get back into this match now as he gets Irish whipped into the steel stairs.
And I don't know what the stairs did to Mongo to annoy him so much.
Probably they were better wrestlers.
Well, at least the ring post got revenge from the stairs.
Yes, well, Mongo going for a straight right to the head of Bulldog. He managed to duck and Mongo hit the ring post. And they managed to bounce Mongo's hand off the steel stairs not once, but twice.
And if Mongo hasn't got a hand, then he can't go around hitting women, can he? Why did Deborah leave him? That's all I'm saying. I cannot confirm or deny. That's what I'm saying. And she went to Steve Austin. We know what happened there. That's all I'm saying.
Bulldog working over the hand and arm of Mongo, going for some big rights to the head.
It's weird. Oh, look at that! Look at that athleticism by the Bulldog.
Power by Mongo.
Oh, fucking Bulldog there, hanging himself up. It's weird because Bulldog died, right? I wish he hadn't. And McMichael's alive, and I wish he died. Isn't that weird, the way it works?
Well, Mongo trying to go into the 3-point stance, but where Bulldog's worked over his hand, he can't quite get the 3-point. He's only got a 2-point stance.
Well, it's brilliant strategy by the Bulldog.
He's channeling his inner mojo.
He is. And McMichael now going to put him away with a tombstone, but he can't lift him, you see. Bulldog with the armbar. Middle of the ring again. Tap out, I dare you. Well, the toughness of McMichael there, screaming, and eventually having to tap out. He didn't tap out or submit, but the referee decided to call it. Nothing he could have done. Doing a break the arm. Bulldog
to get this match over and done with.
Exactly. Referee's like, fuck this, that's that. Bulldog wins and leaves the ring. And, Dan, what a fantastic match that was.
Brilliant, yeah, both men deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for this match alone. Telling the referee, screaming in his face, saying, I didn't quit. This, I believe, isn't the end of things between Mongo, McMichael, and the British Bulldog, unfortunately.
You wash your fucking mouth out in telling me stuff like this. Oh, pushing away officials. Pushing. And Michael might be going, look for Bulldog. Wow, so that's SuperBrawl 8 at the moment in time. Well, things can't get any worse. It's the US title on the line next. You all know what that means. DDP defending against Dan's favourite wrestler, Chris Benoit.
Christopher Benoit.
I mean, just tell me stuff you like about Benoit.
His ruthless aggression.
Yeah. Oh, I'm leaving all this in, and we're going to try something new this week.
Oh,
yeah.
What do you think of Chris Benoit?
I think he's a fantastic worker who should be in the Hall of Fame just on this match alone. Benoit coming out here. I mean, what an athlete, what a guy. DDP's been saying he's a hell of a guy. He deserves an opportunity. No, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it, with a Benoit match? what is weird, for some reason, our first year on the podcast, we had nothing but Benoit matches, and we've not actually watched one in a while, I don't feel. When's the last time you watched a Benoit match?
Not for a while, no.
No. So he's going to go up against DDP. So we're going to focus more on the match, rather than, like we say, what happened after.
Well, we've spoken about it in great detail. I don't think there's any more that needs to be said. It's a sad state of affairs of what happens. No one knows what possessed him to do it. But no, it's we're going to focus also on DDP as well. He was a very good performer in WCW. Went to WWE and became a stalker and didn't really do much from that. We know he's gone on later on in his, well, I wouldn't say career, but later he's kind of helped out former wrestlers as well with his DDP yoga. He's done a lot for former wrestlers.
I think that's why he deserves a lot of credit, with people like Scott Hall and Jake the Snake to be able to look after him. Even Jericho, we said, does DDP yoga and stuff like this. So it's a big influence that he's had. And yeah, when he went to WWF, that wasn't a good thing. That was a bad thing, wasn't it? That he went there and that happened to him. So with WCW, he was one of those guys. He started off old, didn't he? He started becoming a wrestler in his 40s. People said he just got there because of Bischoff, but we're going to see what DDP does. We saw a feud last year with Macho Man Randy Savage, and Randy Savage kind of giving him the rub. And now as United States champion, he beat Kurt Hennig, and we'll see how he defends it. He wants to go against Benoit because he says Benoit deserves the opportunity, even though Raven's been getting involved in, affairs as of late. And he just wants to beat the best wrestler out there at this moment in time and move up to where he deserves on the card.
Yes, he's currently 61 years old.
60, so he's 41 back then. Jesus Christ, son.
He started in 1988 as a manager, 1989 as a wrestler.
Michael Hayes, Freebirds.
3-time WCW Heavyweight Champion, 2-time WCW US Champion, 4-time WCW Tag Team Champion, 1-time Television Champion. He's the 4th WCW Triple Crown Champion.
Well, they tried to out-wrestle each other early going, and now it's turned more into a slugfest with DDP. He's kind of dressed like a street brawler, isn't he? Using the right hand and the ring, trying to send Benoit the wrong way. That was nice. Gut wrench up into a powerbomb.
Yes, and of course, rightly so, he made his last year. He was in the Hall of Fame.
Yep.
2017, inducted by.
Don't tell me. Eric Bischoff.
Yes.
Benoit going for the crossface there, but DDP squirming his way out of the ring. Both men have come close to ending this, so now they're going to go back to the test of strength. There will be no shortcuts in this one. It will be power strength and then turn them into the pin.
Yeah, pinfall there for Chris Benoit. Couple of knife-edge chops.
No, Benoit the wrestler did a lot of things right. There's not a lot you can argue with,
Benoit as a dad and husband.
Exactly. That's the problem. That's what it always comes back to,
It does.
You can't praise his... It's weird, praising his in-ring work and then...
But let's not forget the man officiating this match, Charles Robinson,
yes.
Mini Ric Flair.
Well, Benoit's called the Crippler. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because in ECW, he dropped Sabu on his head and broke his neck. And he was given the nickname the Crippler. And now this match broke into a slugfest. Both men trading. DDP takes him down.
Oh, Benoit turns it around with some big rights of his own, but DDP back on top.
And now
both men going hell for leather at each other. Charles Robinson trying to get in between them to break it up.
Oh, and Benoit, you could argue maybe a bit of a cheap shot there. He looks to become a champion for the first time in WCW. He's been there a couple of years and no success. Leapfrog by Page.
Oh, catches him though. Rolls him up for a pin, but DDP reverses, goes for a pin of his own. Lovely strength there by DDP. Wheelbarrows Benoit over to a suplex.
I think Page maybe was a little bit underrated as well, just because of his age. He goes for the cover, Benoit kicks out.
He does indeed, yes.
A couple of impressive moves. I know it's Benoit helping him out, don't get me wrong, but like we talked about, a wrestler who can have better matches with better wrestlers, is better than a complete arse clown like Steve McMichael. Oh! Benoit with a drop kick. Benoit close eyes, Page Dan.
Benoit bouncing Page's head off the turnbuckle and working away with some kicks to the ribs. And, of course, they're already injured.
Yeah, you can see the bandage around DDP's midsection.
Snapmare takedown.
And now the sleeper is going to take all the air. You see how he's got underneath the arm as well. Trying to just frustrate Page, make him have to carry Benoit's body weight. Well, Benoit had the sleeper on Page. It wasn't a diamond cutter, but more of a jawbreaker. That seemed to have frustrated Benoit more than anything. Page is up, though.
And he's going crazy on Benoit. Oh, a snap suplex. Goes for the cover. 2. Oh. Page managing to kick out.
And now back to that sleeper. Now Benoit now chops to Page. Trying to win the United States title, but Page, well, we've seen how tough he's been in recent times. Sleeper hold now. Page gets out of it though, but Benoit lands on his feet. Straight back to the sleeper. Page trying to get a break. Gets him and, dumps Benoit over the top. But Benoit still back in this. To the top now. DDP crutches him. Caught the big right hand. DDP going to the top with Benoit. Superplex time.
He hit all of that one. Can he get the armor?
No, I think it's both been taken out. It's been a hard-hitting match. Referee's got a standing, of course, got a standing 10 count. Both men slowly get to their feet. The count of 8, 9. And now we return to this slugfest. This has been a brought-out, well-told match. DDP, huge clothesline. Now might be looking to end it with a diamond cutter. No, goes for the pin instead, and Benoit gives him a chance to kick out. But Benoit throws DDP to the outside. DDP's quick to recover, though. Goes all the way up top. Thunderous clothesline. Now goes for the cover. Benoit managing to kick out. Tried to cripple the crossface, but Page's foot was on the bottom rope. Benoit now pulling him in. DDP rolls him up. Both men trying to get the pin. Neither successful there. Irish ripped into the turnbuckle. Page got Benoit.
Belly to belly. Goes for the cover. 2. But Benoit managing to kick out.
Oh my God. German suplex there by Benoit. He's got him. 1, 2.
DDP managing to just kick out.
Well, which way is this match going to go? I thought Benoit had it.
Well, I think it's just one finishing move away from either man to end this.
Sometimes it's hell getting into heaven, Dan, and becoming US champion. I think we know where Benoit is at this moment in time. Irish whip to Page.
Benoit looking for a bulldog of some sorts. Page turned it into a DDT. Managed to drape the arm over. 1, 2. But Benoit shooting the left arm up at the last possible second. DDP signalling for the end. But Benoit trying for the backslide. Page too strong for that. Turns it into a diamond cutter. Good night, CB. 1, 2, 3.
Oh my word. So after a hard hitting match, DDP gets the win. Dan, what are you thinking of that?
That was a bloody good match between the two. Really well worked. A really hard hitting affair. A match that could have gone any way and told a great story. You know, it's DDP's a wrestler that respects Chris Benoit, gave him the opportunity. There was a sign of respect to start the match off with. And, you know, you could tell that both men wanted his title. Yeah,
I think that was 15 minutes of pure action there for both men. DDP top, but take nothing away from Benoit in defeat there. Really, really impressive. And I hope to see another rematch between these two men.
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah, the card's really picked up the past few matches, hasn't it, you know?
It has indeed. Well, we've seen 7 matches. And aside from a couple of questionable ones, you know, the card's certainly improved as it got on. The Booker T Martel match wasn't terrible. The Booker T Saturn match improved. The Disco Inferno La Parca wasn't great. The Goldberg Brad Armstrong, that was just a squash match. The Jericho Juventud Guerrero was a bloody great match. The British Bulldog Steve McMichael, again, you know, it was a terrible match, but it only lasted 6 minutes. So, you know, it didn't offend too much. I know James took a lot of offence to it. And the DDP Chris Benoit match, I mean, you know, that was a brilliant work between the two.
Yeah, really, really good. DDP goes through the crowd, celebrate with the fan. So he is the people's champion. And now we're left for our 3 main event matches. We know we've got Sting and Hogan. Find out who will be WCW champion. But we've also got the tag team titles online. Steiners versus the Outsiders. And next, this is one that I'll be interested to see the outcome. It's Lex Luger versus the Macho Man Randy Savage. And I mean, Savage at the moment has been the focal point of WCW, hasn't he, you know?
Oh, yeah. Well, he's kind of feuding with the NWO, and he's got a big feud going on with Lex Luger.
Yeah, exactly. And everything's like, what will a Macho do? What decision he wants to make? It's so weird when he said, like, oh, I don't want to be kicked out of the NWO. I want to be the leader. So is there another power struggle going on? It's a lot less clearer than it is in the nation at the moment, isn't it? Over on Raw.
It is indeed, yes.
But it should be good. Can the main event matches truly deliver here tonight? Well, we're here to say he doesn't want to talk. He wants to see some action. Oh, the Giant. Bless him. Oh, well, the Giant was meant to be here tonight at SuperBrawl, but he can't make it. But he will be on WCW Monday Nitro tomorrow night. So we will see the Giant, and we'll get an update.
Woo!
Well, here comes, in what WCW say is the world's most dangerous man, the Macho Man Randy Savage, coming out here with Liz, or Miss Elizabeth if you shall. Gonna have to go against Lex Luger here tonight, and Macho, he's got a crazy look in his eye, hasn't he, you know?
He's Harry Kane's brother.
Oh, is he? Do you know, I read a fantastic article the other day, Dan, about Molly Holly joining WCW when Macho Man was, you know, she was part of the team. And, you know, she was saying, like, the Macho Man was exactly the same backstage as he was on camera. You never were sure about him. Some days you would see him and he would be the nicest guy around. And then some days you see him and he could just be out there, you know. That is such a dangerous...
That is the Macho Madness.
That's such a dangerous combination, isn't it? You know, you never know what to expect from him. He's coming out here. Like, so you've got to look in his eyes, but every time the fans, you just think he might go around and just hit whoever's there, looking for ring steps at the moment. But the fans do like him still. He's still over, as they say, isn't he?
He is in the... You know, one can't quite understand why, but...
You're saying, why at this time, Macho? You know, I mean, not the Macho Man, obviously.
Oh, not the Macho Man character itself. You can understand why he was over as hell, but... I don't know, is he still living on his reputation? Is it the madness side of things?
It's like Randy Orton or John Cena, isn't it? It's just that continuous thing of, you know, because he's there, he's going to be featured in a prominent position, I suppose, you know? But here comes Lex Luger. We talked about DDP's midsection problems.
Well, you know, he was trapped in a net last week.
Yeah, yeah, you can say that during the Attitude Era. You remember that week he was trapped in that? Yeah.
Like a big fish.
A big fish with Sting coming flying down the ring, or a dumpster going off the side, or Owen Hart getting thrown off the stage. But here comes Lex Luger after that attack. The midsection.
Steve Austin just lobbing a fucking trash can at someone's head.
Well, here we go now. Lex Luger, Macho Man Randy Savage. I mean, Lex Luger, we talk about him. I never rated him. I don't want to slate him too much, Dan. Was there ever a time you were a Luger fan?
I don't know. I enjoyed him when he was part of the Wolf Pack, but you know, aside from that, I wasn't really a huge Luger fan.
What was enjoyable? Fill me in.
I don't know. It was probably more of the people he was surrounded with.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Well, we're going to see him in action. I don't expect to see a lot of wrestling holds, but we've already started. Luger, big right hand down. Oh, my word. Oh.
Looking for his gorilla press, but then ribs just made him give way.
And the problem is you won't be able to flex that much either, Luger, will you, if your ribs are that bad? And the match only started, but Macho looks like he's been beaten down for about 10 minutes already. Irish whip. Macho target in the area.
Well, it's like he's got a big bullseye on them ribs. As far as I'm aware, this is a no disqualification match.
Yep, so anything goes in this one. We saw what happened last month when the NWO got involved in this match between a clean finish now. That's a promise. Clean. There'll be no more shenanigans as the night goes on. It's been pretty clean so far, hasn't it, really? I'm trying to think what we've had.
Yeah, you know, we started off with the Booker T 2 matches. That was clean finishes.
Clean finishes, yeah.
Mongo
Bulldog with the clean finish, armbar. Jericho was submission, wasn't it?
Yep, Disco Inferno beating La Parka.
Yeah.
Cleanish. I mean, La Parka introduced the chair. Disco used it.
Yeah.
Goldberg, that was very clean.
Didn't need
Jericho and Juven too.
Yeah.
That was,
and then
a little
DDP,
bit
Benoit.
cross Benoit.
And Macho now is taking control of this one. Wouldn't be that much surprise. Madness. And again, he is spitting. And I've told him not to spit before. He's obviously not listened to me. And he's spitting on Lex Luger. And now he's just standing on the midsection here. These are two of the biggest WCW stars. I mean, would Luger and Macho make a difference in the WWE if they'd have joined, Dan?
I don't think so, no.
It's weird they both didn't make the transition, did they, when they went across?
No, well, I think that was true of a lot of the bigger stars, so to speak. Like the Goldbergs, the Nash, the Halls, Savage, Hogan.
But they all came back really, apart from these two. Think about it.
Yeah,
It's mental, wasn't it? I mean, Macho, we've had rumours for years about it. With Luger, maybe. Well, we know Luger showed up on the first Nitro after his contract expired, so he was annoyed then. They have patched up things recently because of Luger's health issues, so to speak. So I'm sure he'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. And of course, Macho's been put in there because
he's a fucking Man United fan.
Oh, what a prick! Macho's got in there, of course, Hall of Fame recently. Now Macho trying to choke Lex Luger, and then Luger thrown to the outside by the Macho Man. Referee Mickey J there keeping an eye on Macho, but I don't think you can control him.
So, what accolades did Lex Luger achieve in his time in WWF?
In WWF, I don't think he won anything, did he? He slammed Yokozuna. Oh no, he won the Royal Rumble. I don't think he became tag team champion, did he? He teamed up with Bulldog.
Nope, win any tag teams. He didn't win any gold.
No.
Apart from a Slammy Award in 1994. Guess what it was for?
Slamming Yokozuna.
Most patriotic.
Yeah, I'll take that. In WCW, I know he was a former tag team champion, US champion, WCW champion. We saw him win the WCW title last year against Hogan on Nitro. Macho's taking Luger into the crowd now with a chair assault. And now the punch is wrestling. This is not like extreme hardcore wrestling. This is more like what the Attitude Era would become. Every match you would probably see fans brawling in the crowd. And Nitro did this more than anybody at this time. Macho now has gone back for a fan. Head of security there, Doug Dillinger, telling him not to.
Did you know that one of his finishers was called the Attitude Adjustment? It was a pile driver.
Who? Luger? And now Macho just slowly working Luger around the ring. Slams him in, tries to slam him in a barricade. Luger blocks it at first, not second time around. And now Macho tries to send him into the barricade again. Luger blocking it. But he can't get no momentum in this one, can he? Macho blocking him off every time.
Yeah. Macho's just shutting him down as quick as he can. I don't think them injured ribs are helping. And they're not really making the most of like the extreme rules or, whatever it is, no DQ.
Well, can Macho put away Luger? He's been playing for him so far. Luger might have been fired up by that shot, though. Maybe a suplex now?
Oh, slams him down with a brutal suplex.
Yeah, but Luger straight back up.
Savage straight on them ribs again, though. Irish Rip attempt reversed.
Oh!
Power slam, though, by Luger.
Hey!
He's trying to flex.
Just about. That's good enough. I guess the bandages have come a little loose, and now Luger looking. Hitting with the torture rack.
But Miss Elizabeth's in.
Oh!
Is that a rake to the eyes?
Well, I think she raked her eyes, and now Macho looking to take advantage. Oh, for fuck's sake.
And NWO are ringside.
Well, I don't think it's the foot. Right, it's the minor players of the NWO. Macho is fighting them off as well, weirdly enough. Bagwell, Norton. Bagwell just put Macho on that top rope, hung him up, and Hogan now calling the troops back. Luger's got the torture rack in. It's over. Oh, my God. Hogan pulled him back and said, no, let Luger win this. And now Bagwell happy about what he's done. And then the NWO turned their back on Macho. And Hogan saying, you're not family, you piece of trash. And the NWO getting involved and costing Macho Man a victory there, you would say, Dan?
Most definitely, yeah. Well, you know, they could have definitely helped out their NWO For Life brother, but no, they decided to go against him being excommunicated from the NWO Black and Whites.
Well, they got involved when Macho found himself on top as well, didn't they? So they must have had it pre-planned. Obviously, Luger and the NWO aren't in cahoots.
Definitely not, no.
But they just dislike Macho more than they do Luger, and Luger's been through the wars here. Yeah, he gets a victory, but Macho's got to be annoyed. I mean, what are your thoughts on that so-called match?
Well, you know, as we were saying, we've had relatively clean finishes throughout the majority of the matches tonight. There's bound to be one with some controversy, but again, you know, I think that's as clean as you can get in a no disqualification match, to be fair. Especially with the NWO involved at this time, isn't it? You know, and another submission victory, but I suppose Macho did signal there, didn't he? And said he had to tap out. The torch rack, though, has been one of those protected moves in WCW. We've seen Hogan give up to it and now Macho, so there's still a lot of respect for it. And like I said, Luger, most popular wrestler in 1997 in WCW, so continue in 1998, he's just beating the Macho Man there. So it is WCW Tag Team titles on the line, and it's the Outsiders looking to regain their tag team titles here tonight, what they see in their eyes. The Steiners won it a couple of weeks ago. There was friction between the Steiner brothers, but everything's sorted out now, isn't it, you know? Yes, ever since they won the tag team titles back and they're back round their waist, they kind of turned things around and, you know, they're brothers again.
Exactly. But we haven't seen a lot of the Outsiders teaming up, even though they are tag team champions. And Dusty is leading them out here, of course, turning his back on WCW last month. We'll see how successful the Outsiders can be here tonight. Scott Hall has to be the best in-ring performer of the NWO.
Yeah, because, you know, no disrespect to the NWO, for life.
For life.
They didn't have a lot of great in-ring workers.
They really didn't, did they? I mean, Kurt Hennig, maybe you could argue, you know.
One might argue, yeah, Kurt Hennig.
But, you know, Conan.
Vincent.
Yeah, Scott Norton. Yeah, Buff Bagwell. Coke Hogan, Kevin Nash,
Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes, baby. See if he gets involved. Of course, Ted DiBiase will be coming out with the Steiner brothers. DiBiase used to be part of the NWO before he was betrayed. But, of course, Scott Hall will do a survey first. Now, here come the Steiners, WCW Tag Team Champions. Of course, there's two sets of belts at the moment because the Outsiders made themselves a set. Oh, fireworks. The dog-faced gremlin and Big Papa Pump looking happy as always.
Get that in, Jack!
Yeah, exactly. Didn't miss the shot last time, so make sure you do now. Well, 6 men here, you could argue all legends, and Rick Steiner. No, that might be harsh. Dogface Gremlin, of course, won the tag team titles for the Steiners.
He did indeed, yes, and that extremely large forehead. For life.
For life, forehead.
It's good to see the friction has gone from the Steiner brothers. I mean, you know, they're stronger than ever.
Yeah, it did panic me. It panicked me that there might be trouble, but now everything is fine. We're going to have a proper title defence against the Outsiders. WCW is looking strong. You know, they win these next couple of matches, with Sting bringing the WCW title home as well. You got to say the NWO are on the outs at this moment in time.
Looks like Rick's going to start off against Scott Hall.
Well, usually it's Scott, which is a bit weird, but maybe Rick, going off the success of last time, wants to start with Scott Hall. Well, but he's got a game plan, I'm sure. Toothpick to the face, Scott Hall loved it.
Yes, but Rick responded with a big right hand.
Scott grabs the arm of Rick.
They've kind of shuffled round corners.
Well, they're in the right position now, and Scott doesn't get any change of Rick. Rick responded with a big right hand again.
On a bit of a poke to the eye after receiving one from Scott Hall.
And a patented Steiner line.
With a Steiner suplex, Steiner belly to belly.
Well, Scott not sure where he is at the moment, and now Rick pouncing on him in the corner. And you can hear the impact of the punches as Scott's trying to push him out of the way. 10.
One for luck. For luck.
For luck, and Kevin Nash is in the corner looking on at his buddy Scott Hall in serious trouble. Oh!
Good save there, by the way.
Overhead belly to belly suplex, Nash in. Rick now with the punches.
Ducking what Kevin Nash has to offer and delivering a few big rights of his own. Rick Steiner's cleaning house all on his own.
Oh, Nash dumped out of the ring, and here comes Scott. Ooh, 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 ooh. They're going to go into their Steiner. There we go. The Steiner stance, as we call it. Steiner's dominating at the moment. Whoa!
And a wink to Nash, and he sledgehammers his brother on the back.
And look at the crowd. Every one of them just rose to their feet there.
He's just too sweeted the Outsiders.
Suplex for Rick Steiner. Knocks out Ted DiBiase. Say it isn't so.
Oh, Dusty Road, baby.
He sends Ted DiBiase into the ring post. And now too sweeting in the ring. Scott Steiner with Hall and Nash.
And he just hands his brother over to the Outsiders.
Oh!
But Rick manages to kick out.
Oh, come on, Rick. He just had his brother turn on him. He's still got fight in this.
Does he know what's going on?
I'm not sure. At one moment, he was, in the taunt. The next minute, he's getting beaten down. Now, look at this by the Outsiders. Talk about a wolf pack beating him down. But Rick, to his credit,
he's fighting back out of it.
Well, I've gained a new respect for Rick Steiner here. Fighting 3 men at this moment in time.
He is indeed.
Well, Rick Steiner basically won the tag team title for the Steiners last time round. Wouldn't that be a story here tonight? Oh.
He gets Irish whipped towards the ropes, gets hit by Kevin Nash from behind. The Outsider's edge.
Oh, can he get him up?
No.
No, try it again. Oh, Scott's had an idea. Come and help.
Second attempt. He is successful.
Oh, look at Scott just talking to his brother as he powerbombs him down. The powerbomb is banned. The jackknife is, I guess, the Outsider's edge is okay.
And that is it. The Outsiders and Scott Steiner there.
Yeah, new tag team champions, the Outsiders. And I can't believe what we just seen there. Brother turn on his brother.
And he serves up the tag team belts to his opponents.
Oh, that is shocking. I never thought I'd see the day Scott would turn on Rick.
And he turns on the referee, throws him out of the ring. He's got some aggression, this guy.
My God.
As he raises the hands of the Outsiders. And we thought the Steiners were stronger than ever.
How wrong we were. The NWO has hoodwinked us once again, one step ahead. And they've recruited Scott Steiner, they've won back the WWE Tag Team titles. And if Hogan is successful in our next match, then the NWO rule professional wrestling yet again. What a master stroke it is. I don't know if it's Scott Steiner. I don't know if it's Dusty Rhodes. I don't know who got into, who had the idea for this. But it's worked perfectly for them. And it's a dark day for professional wrestling, Dan.
It is indeed, yes. Another number. Well, it's one more for the bad guys.
Unbelievable. So the Steiners have posed like this, 1,000 times, and not once did anyone expect that Scott would do that to Rick. And you can see by the reaction of the crowd how shocking it was back then. I think, just imagine Jimmy turning on Jey Uso nowadays, and then joining like fucking New Day or something like that.
Wow.
People would be like, we wouldn't see that coming.
Well, they become successful single wrestlers.
Exactly. We get an advert for WCW's next pay-per-view. And it's uncensored. Look how colourful everything is.
WCW NWO Uncensored.
Look how colourful. Oh, yeah, you're angry.
WCW NWO Uncensored.
And that's March 15th. That'll be next month when we do our March, I suppose 20 years on in March, February, March? In March 1998, we'll be looking at that pay-per-view as well. But here comes Michael Buffer.
I am the man that made wrestling the heavyweight champion of the world. I am your champion.
Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Out of nowhere. Sting! WCW is Sting. Oh! And Sting is in charge.
Sting.
Oh, the big foot.
Big leg drop.
1, 2, 3.
Nick Patrick made the 3 count, and Bret Hart certainly doesn't seem to agree. He's signaling for a restart.
With a stinger splash in the corner. Here it comes. Sting! The Scorpion Deadlock. Sting is the world heavyweight champion.
effective immediately. The title is being held up.
This is wrestling history, fans, right here.
The championship is vacant.
That's my belt. I beat this guy twice.
You're a dead man.
Hogan and Sting at SuperBrawl.
I'll be Sting. 1, 2, 3, just like the last time.
They're going to fight until we find out who the real heavyweight champion of the world is.
Will Sting come down from the rafters, Dan?
Will he come down through the crowd, James?
Will he come down from the ramp?
Will he come down at all?
Will he?
Will he?
Here comes Sting. The man known as Sting. Oh. Just walking out. Oh my God, and Sting doesn't want the introductions coming straight down, and Hogan's got the belt already. As in his belt, his weight belt round his waist. He's whipping away at Sting. But I think Sting's trench coat might be helping him out just a wee bit. Not saying a lot, because Hogan has taken control. Well, we saw what happened at Starrcade. Will we have a clean finish to this one? And now Hogan choking out Sting. Hogan putting back on that belt, and the match can finally get started. Charles Robinson's been the official, so no Nick Patrick, even though he's been reinstated here tonight. But this is pivotal. This is pivotal in WCW versus NWO here. Who can take control, seize power, especially when the WF are looking towards Austin, Tyson and Michaels. You know, which way is this going to go?
Well, Hogan's got the advantage early on. He hasn't got his NWO cronies. He hasn't even got Eric Bischoff by his side tonight.
He hasn't. He's out here. He wants to be mano y mano, put Sting away. He's choking him out at the moment. And he's saying he's the man. And now choking away at Sting again. Sting hasn't even got his coat off yet.
Well, he's not even giving Sting a chance to get undressed. Oh, no, he's helping him. No, he's pulling the trench coat over his face so he can't see Hogan's attacks.
So he's making one of the most, the man who looks probably the coolest out of every wrestler in professional wrestling these past 18 months or so, you know, from the rafters and stuff. You then put his coat over his head and make him look a bit like an idiot. Okay, right, fine, no, all right.
Pretty much.
At the moment, Hogan hasn't had one bit of offense against him in this match. It looks like he is taking it easy. Everything he's saying on Nitro week in, week out about how easy it is to beat him, he's been proven right at this moment in time.
He is thus far, yes. But we know Hogan, you know, for the past, 8 to 10 years, he's been the driving force in, you know, WWF, and now in WCW, he's always been a top dog wherever he lies his hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Bandana, so to speak.
And it's because of the control that he has, you know, in the contract and just who he is. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I respect Hulk Hogan for making professional wrestling what it was, but there's a point in time where you have to look at the so-called next generation. Don't worry, at the moment, Hogan's just beating Sting up at ringside. He's literally pounding him out, isn't he? Like, not.
So would you say he's kind of like the Triple H of his time?
Yeah, I think Triple H looks at Hogan for fucking tips, you know, how to make a situation seem like you need Hogan, as you know what I mean? That's how he plays it, isn't it? Oh, wait a minute, what about if you had me here? What about if I did this instead? You know?
Is that just Hogan's way of Hogan and Triple H's way of thinking, saying, you know, you need me here, I could make this better, when in actual fact, you not being there would probably make it 10 times better.
But look at, you know, you got to look at professional wrestling history anyway. Look at Shawn Michaels not wanting to lose to Bret and vice versa, the problems there. Steve Austin, how during his time he didn't want to work anybody lower than him, you know. And even John Cena, we heard with Alex Riley and the problems. So the egos going around in professional wrestling, you know, are huge as well. Protecting your spot. And that's what harms it in a weird way. If everybody was happy working with each other, it would make the product much better, wouldn't it? You know, it's crazy.
Well, I don't know. Do you think this friction does help as well? You know, we know we've got these kayfabe storylines, but having genuine, real-life storylines and divas, it makes it a bit more interesting, a bit more. It makes it a bit more predictable, yeah. But it does make it a bit more interesting on how they get around these kind of things, like, you know. A doesn't want to lose to B, so A loses to C, and then B beats C quite easily.
Yeah, this is a problem, though, isn't it? It is all thing. I don't think it helps either, because if even they're working together, or any personal problems, you're going to make the other one look horrible, and then say, look, I told you it was bad wrestling him. Do you know what I mean? It was his fault. You're not going to help that person out, are you?
What, like Michael's overselling every move he receives off Hogan.
Yeah, exactly, because you knew he was going to end up losing. He's like, well, fuck this then, we've seen it with other wrestlers in the past as well. Hogan especially is horrible for that. There's a couple of against Billy Kidman where it's just horrible. It really is. But anyway, that's the future we've got to look forward to at the moment in time. All this time me and Dan have been talking, by the way, Hogan has not once had any offense against it. Sting has been beaten up. It's quite unbelievable. He's
lost the test of strength. He's, we know Hogan's not renowned for his repertoire. He's not got the biggest set of moves against, in his arsenal. He's certainly going to town on Sting. And he must realise it's going to take a lot to put the Stinger down.
Yeah, exactly. And this is what we hope. And can Sting get back into it?
And as we say that, Hogan's posing off. He's going in the corner, telling everyone who'd listen that he's the champion, flexing his muscles, and Sting's back to his feet behind him. And Hogan gets that look in his eyes, if say, "Oh, I'm scared now." As Sting flexes and poses and starts wailing away at Hogan with his lefts and rights, clubbing his back.
And Sting sending Hogan into the turnbuckle. The shine off the top of Hogan's chrome dome is now finally in a bit of trouble, I would say. You can see the sweat pouring off him. I'm sure it's just because he's been wrestling for 10 minutes. He's in terrible shape. Now Sting with a belt.
Oh, whipping it across the back of Hogan. Hogan's doing a bit of a Tatanka strut round the ring.
Hey, how are you?
And he's saying, "Nope, I've had enough, I'm leaving."
We can't leave, we have to have a champion here tonight. And Sting grabbing that belt round Hogan's neck.
Giving him some of the payback that he received from Hogan. So Sting, where does he stand in your list? I know, you've always been more of a WWE man. And, you've probably seen, 2 or 3 matches that Sting's had in the WWE. As opposed to him, being quite prominent in TNA and WCW.
It depends how you class someone. It's like with Sting. Don't get me wrong, he's a legend. But just not in the WWE. I know WWE like to say WCW's under their banner now, but with Sting, like I said, only having a couple of years there, you can't really say, "Oh, what a great career there." WCW, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like Sting, I can understand similarities of him and The Undertaker being that kind of constant, never moving. I know he had some success in TNA, but if Sting, yeah, sure, Hall of Fame, yes, but it's like Anthony, when Inoki, the Japanese guy, went in there. It's because he was other companies, not WWE. If it was just WWE alone, Sting wouldn't be in. The same
no.
Sting of Page as well, I suppose. And there's a few WCW. Goldberg probably not, because Goldberg did have a little bit of success in WWE, didn't he? So
he was in the second ever Elimination Chamber, wrestled a few matches.
Well, world champion and Universal champion WWE as well. So you got to give him that. With Sting, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I like Sting. I wish we had more. Everybody wanted to see a Sting Undertaker match at some point. But again, it's the handling of Sting. You had this really cool character, and at this moment in time, Starrcade, they fucked up with him, and now in this match, I thought Sting was on the ascendancy, but all of a sudden Hogan just takes control again.
Yeah, it seems like from all that we've been built up as with Sting, he's been a scary opponent, and that he's been chasing the whole of the NWO out of the ring, yet Hogan's right down his throat.
Yeah.
I know, you can't take anything or too much away from Hogan, but
wait a minute, Irish whip and a Stinger splash there.
And he's got the Scorpion Deathlock locked in now.
Oh, here we go. He's got the submission and
But James, what's been the theme of tonight?
Exactly. Too close to the ropes. Hogan grabs it. Referee's counting, but shouldn't he be telling Sting to stop the submission rather than Hogan for holding on? But anyway, that's what the referee's having to go about. Kicks the arm out. Stinger splash.
Oh, and Hogan pulls the referee in front of him as a Stinger splash was coming in. Robinson took all of that.
Well, clothesline by Hogan. He seems to think he has it won, but referee's been knocked down. Here comes Nick Patrick, leg drop by Hogan. Not like this. Not like this. Robson's out. 1, 2. Oh!
2 count. Well, he wasn't doing a fast count this time.
No, Sting managing to kick out, even though it was the same speed as the one Hogan actually got the win. We never found out who's actually at fault for that. I blame Nick Patrick.
Well, Hogan's saying, look, it's me.
I'm paying your bills. You should have counted a little bit quicker. Oh, now right hands on Sting. And what the hell's Nick Patrick doing? Grabbing hold of Hogan, saying you can't use a closed fist. Maybe Nick Patrick is going to be impartial in this one.
Well, he has learnt his lesson.
You got to respect a man who's still rocking a mullet.
Indeed, yes. Hogan would be rocking a mullet if he had hair on top.
Yeah. But the mullet is not party at the back, none at the front, you know.
He is all business at the front,
yeah.
party round the back and sides.
Party at the back, business closed at the front. Oh, Hogan with a back suplex on Sting.
He's gone out of business on top.
Yeah, exactly. Got for rent sign. Well, Charles Robinson being carried out by an official. Hogan with a pin. Sting again kicking out.
Hogan going for another cover though. But again, Sting kicking out and Hogan trying every pin that he can think of.
Hogan now on top. Trying to get Sting down. Oh, bridging up Sting is.
Very innovative by Sting.
Easy for you to say. And now Sting's power.
Looks like Hogan's more pulling him up.
And Sting's up now. He's outpowering the almighty Hulk Hogan.
Don't you miss that from Hogan, though? I mean, like when he used to spend the whole match getting beaten down, point the finger, shake it, Hulk up, come back into the match, clothesline, leg drop, bosh, done.
Know. It's much better than him being...
Big boot, leg drop, sorry.
It's much better than the majority of the match. Get beat down a little bit and then winning.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, and Hogan going back to that submission.
Right, chin lock.
Hogan says Nick Patrick, make him say tap out. And now Hogan rolling up Sting. 1, 2. No, Sting again getting the shoulder up at 2. Hogan getting frustrated.
He should be getting frustrated. He's been in control 90% of this match. Sting had a little comeback, but Hogan cut that short.
Oh, God. Sting thrown out again.
Sting barely able to support his own body weight.
Oh, Hogan slams Sting into the barricade. And now buying at Sting. But Sting blocking the attack on the barricade. Sending Hogan in. Make that twice. And now back into the ring. Is Sting going to finally take advantage of Hogan? Oh, and a low blow. And Nick Patrick might have seen that, but he's let it go. That is such a cheap shot. Nick Patrick did see it, but he's going to do nothing about it. You can't... What are you going to do? Get rid of Hogan? It's got to be anything goes to crown a new champion.
But Hogan again with the upper hand. I think Sting's becoming immune to his shots. He started no selling. Does Hogan need help? Is that what he's looking for? Is he looking for his NWO brethren?
Oh, Sting flexing again this time.
Pounding away at his chest. Irish whip. Stinger splash connects. Second one connects as well.
Well, now going to get him Scorpion death drop. Oh, Hogan kicks Nick Patrick.
On the way down.
Oh, my God. Sting going for the cover. And now here comes the NWO. Here comes Scott Norton in. Oh, gets caught with a low blow. Bagwell, Vincent on the apron. They get knocked down. Conan up, Conan down. Macho's in there as well. Brian Adams, Vincent taken out.
Bang.
Oh.
Hits Hogan over the head.
Macho hit, Hogan over the head with that spray can. Sting goes to turn around. Hogan's unconscious.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we have a new undisputed W. I'm just glad, Dan, it didn't end in shenanigans or any kind of dirty way. You know, nice clean finish there.
Indeed, yes, as clean as a whistle.
Yeah.
And what's Sting got in his hand now?
Well, that's the spray can that hit Macho. Macho used to hit Hogan in the back of the head. And JJ Dillon's out here to present Sting with a title, but Sting's not finished for Hogan yet. Oh, and Sting writing WCW on Hulk Hogan.
Well, you know, Hogan was famous for writing the NWO on his fallen opponents, and now Sting's giving him the treatment back.
Yeah, and of course that title belt had the NWO spray painted it as well, and now it's clean, and it belongs to W. Sting brings it back home, and what a night it's been, what an end. I mean, Dan, what did you think of that match?
I thought it wasn't one of the greatest matches on the card. You know, it was all Hogan and a bit of melee. I think it made Sting look a bit weak because he needed Savage to help him beat Hogan.
Yeah, exactly.
I know he didn't need Savage. He could have had him beat cleanly on a couple of occasions, but you know, it's a bit of a strange one.
All right, so we're going to have a look back. I mean, we'll go back to the first one. The first match was Booker T versus Rick Martel. I don't think that was a bad match, actually, to start the show. I gave that a 3 to start things off.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. About a 3 out of 5 for that, yeah.
Yeah, Booker T versus Saturn. I thought it was maybe a little bit better, so I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. I thought that deserved a little bit more praise, even though it was called on the fly as well, as they say. Do you know what I mean? I think that was
yeah, it was better than the Rick Martel match, so yeah, I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, La Parker versus Disco Inferno. I did not enjoy that. I just thought it went on a bit too long in the end, you know. 2.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Goldberg, Brad Armstrong, 4 out of 5. Thought it was really, really strong.
I thought, yeah, Goldberg just looked immense, intense, and you know, he's pulling more and more moves out of his repertoire as he goes along. He's still relatively green, but you know, the way they're booking him, they're not giving him 20-minute, you know, 10, 15-minute matches over and done with before he kind of makes an idiot out of himself, if you know what I mean. So yeah.
Then we had the Cruiserweight title match, which was Juve versus Jericho. I think it was a really strong match. I gave that a 4 out of 5. I know there's a couple of things wrong in it, but I thought it was really good. Bulldog versus Mongo, 1 out of 5. Fucking awful. DDP versus Benoit, that was my match of the night. I think pure wrestling.
Yeah,
I think
4.5 out of 5, I'll give that.
Yeah, Sean Brighters. Macho v Luger, again, terrible, 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
Outsiders versus Steiner, 3 out of 5, but shocking.
I gave that a 3.5 out of 5. It's, you know, just for the turn aspect on it. The Sting against Hogan.
That was awful, 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
I hated the ending as well. I really did. Okay, so, but that is not it for this episode. We just watched WWE pay-per-view, but we have still got Nitro and Raw still to go. So it is episode 128 of Nitro, February 23rd, 1998. So this is after Slamboree. DDP, Flair, Booker, Bret Hart all shown backstage separately talking about Scott Steiner's heel turn. Bret said he knows what it's like to have a brother turn on you.
The Locato Arena, Sacramento, California. And the commentators are really happy.
Yeah, Tony S, Larry Z, Mike T got massive smiles on their faces. And they tell us the good news.
Well, the big news, Sting is world champ.
Well, backstage, someone tries to talk to Rick Steiner. He barks and is ready to bite later.
Well, the first match, and Luger is in action. He's banged up.
Yeah, and Luger grabs the mic to congratulate Sting.
Yes, but says there is a stinking black crowd. My friend Rick is devastated. I've trained, worked, and slept with Rick. Easy. Scott, you're his bro no more, and calls him out.
Well, Henning comes out with Rude instead. Luger takes control early, and here's the match.
Didn't this match happen at WrestleMania 9?
Fucking hell, Dan. It's one of your dream matches. Yeah, the Mr. Perfect versus... What was he called
the
again?
Narcissist.
The Narcissist.
Lex Luger.
Yeah. The Nitro again is live here. It's business as usual the night after. Kurt Hennig not featured at SuperBrawl, but of course, Lex Luger beat Macho Man Randy Savage. As we see a sign saying Raw is recorded, we'll be catching up Raw afterwards. We've taped it.
It has been recorded.
And now Luger wanted to bring Hennig in. Hennig blocking it. And look who it is. Well, who is it actually?
It's some blonde man in Scott Steiner's garb.
And wearing sunglasses, beating down Lex Luger. You hear the commentator as well going, who's that? His arms. Oh my God, that's Scott Steiner, Dan. What a unlikely change.
Oh my God, it's like a different man.
Well, I'm not used to seeing Scott Steiner with blonde hair. Oh my word. And now he's beating down Lex Luger.
Will anyone come out to save Luger?
Well, I doubt it. At the moment, Scott Steiner's just beating down Lex. You got to wonder what Rick's thinking.
Using his singlet to choke out Lex Luger.
Any means necessary. The fans who loved him last week are now booing him down. Scott Steiner's turning his back on WCW. Oh! And Lex Luger just clocked Scott's the face. I think busted open Scott Steiner.
He does look like he's bleeding in the eye.
Oh! Power slam. Oh, Buff Bagwell coming out to beat down Lex Luger.
But as soon as someone gets the upper hand on an NWO member, out come the rest of the New World Order.
They're beating him down.
Oh!
And Rick wants his brother Scott.
He wants some questions answered.
Why did you turn your back on me? Oh, fucking hell. Well, the B team and the NWO coming out here. Norton, Vincent, Conan, Adams. And now Rick Steiner. Oh. Getting held by the NWO. Beaten down by Scott. Oh, my God.
And Sting coming from the rafters. The new world champion. And everyone in the ring scatters.
And that's how Sting should be used here. Saving WCW. Well, two of their brightest members there, Rick Steiner and Lex Luger. And what a way to start. Nitro, really. And here comes members of the roster to check on Rick, where we've been beaten down a couple of minutes ago. But this is a new dawn, Dan, for WCW. They're all in this together to fight the NWO.
Well, they're not going to take it lying down.
No. But this is quite historic, Dan, because 20 years ago, this is the debut of Scott Steiner with his new look that everybody's become, I think, accustomed to now, haven't they, you know?
Indeed, yes.
So if you ever wondered when it was on this day. On this day.
I see Rick clearly.
Yeah.
Scott clearly.
Oh, no, it was yesterday, 20 years ago, sorry. So we see the Nitro girls, and Larry Z says they can dance their little hearts out.
Well, Larry, in 20 years, these women can not only dance, but compete and be as dominant as the men.
Yeah. Well, the flock arrives. This is good. The flock arrives, and Van Ham is in action.
Well, James, it sounds like a porn movie.
It does indeed. Van Ham. I think I've watched it. The flock would be good if it wasn't...
Sorry, it's Dan Hammer.
It's Dan Hammer. James Hammer. No, that was Dan. The flock would be good if it wasn't exactly the same as the NWO. And even weirder, the segments are usually back-to-back anyway.
Well, here comes the DDP.
Well, DDP's here, and obviously DDP and Hammer shop at the same places. Well, also use the same hairdressers as well, don't they?
Yes, they both got the same bubble perm.
And they've both got the same jeans, which is just weird at this moment in time. Well, there's a sign saying, poke me, Elizabeth, but Facebook's not invented yet, Dan, so I wonder what that sign could mean. Well, anyway, Hammer's in control. The majority of this match here, beating down Diamond Dallas Page. I find it weird how I think Van Hammer went looking for his long-lost father and found Page. That's what I think happened here. I mean, the only difference is brown boots and a vest. I'm sorry, but that's it. Van Hammer to the top. Eventually.
DDP, though, falling against the ropes, crutches Van Hammer on the top. Diamond cutter.
And he gets the victory there. So a limo arrives and Hogan and Bish get out and tell someone to stay in.
Well, Vincent runs up to Hogan and tells him Sting just wasted the NWO.
Well, the commentators say the NWO got what they deserved.
And the NWO music hits. Hogan and Bish storm to the ring.
Storm to the ring. Eric's not happy. Shut up and listen. Enough is enough.
Well, now Hogan. Sting's a coward. I've beat him 3 times. Nick Patrick takes money and he shouldn't have been in the match last night. Sting is small stuff. Way to put him and the world title down. I'm the champ. Scott Hall will win the title and give it to me. Macho hit me last night with a 10-foot crowbar. At Uncensored, I want him in a cage.
They are actual quotes that Hogan said. Oh, I don't think he is scared of you, Hogan. It's just in a match. Look, Macho, go out there and just talk to him, mate. All right. So we see that. So Macho wants to be leader of the NWO. Very interesting. Next match is Kaz Hayashi versus Ultimo Dragon. And Tony tells us during the match that the Giant will be here tonight for an update.
Yay! Plus, in the main event, Scott Hall versus Sting.
Well, back to the match. Kaz nice tope and Dragon suplex on Dragon, but Frankenstein and Dragon Sleeper puts him away. Dragon wins. Dragon.
Well, Mean Gene promotes the WCW hotline. 1-800-99-100.
1-800-99-100, everybody. Ring that number. And we see a Nitro party, and some fucking idiot has got a sign that says DDP 316. Great.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Rip off. Someone must watch WWE.
Here we go. So here comes Raven. So Raven's coming to the ring, and Benoit following him, if you will. Beating him down. He's had a problem with a Flock and Raven recently.
Throws him into that poor barricade.
Barricade's had a lot of action today. Fucking hell. They use the barricade a lot. Benoit throws Raven in the ring. This is a cool submission to the death match. Benoit special. No, it's probably Raven Rules match. Let's play Chris Benoit chicken. Well, Benoit is not hanging around, slicing his throat, going to go for that diving headbutt. Of course, that diving headbutt might cause head-related injuries that might, affect him later on in life.
Oh! But he missed, much like he doesn't miss Nancy and Daniel now.
Oh, my God. Two victims at Benoit.
But unlike Nancy, he managed to kick out.
Oh.
Now, perhaps an unprotected chair shot to the head, another attribute that could have accounted towards his head trauma.
Well, Raven's rules. He does what he wants when he wants.
Much like Chris Benoit when he gets hold of his wife and child. Oh, he gets bulldog head first onto the steel chair.
And Benoit's got that psycho look about him, managing to get the shoulder up there. He's looking to kill Raven here in this match. With the crossface.
Well, it's not the first time he's killed a bird.
I like that. That's good. Well, Raven sets a chair up.
Oh, head trauma.
Fucking hell. Benoit's taken more hits to the face than Nancy did in the entire relationship with Chris Benoit. And that was a lot. Raven all the way to the top.
Oh, Benoit with a palm strike there, sending the chair into the face of Raven.
Oh, and Benoit now chopping away at Raven. Irish whip. Clotheslines Raven down. This is much more aggressive from Chris Benoit.
Well, Benoit has just snapped, much like the night he killed his wife and child.
Benoit's got the chair. Going to set up in a corner. And now Raven's in serious trouble here. Chop. It's been a great little match on Monday Nitro. Oh!
A brutal Irish whip there, and Raven is hanging up.
Well, Raven is in an appropriate position here.
He gonna get raped.
Well, anything could happen to him. Managing to get out of harm's way from a certain point of view. Benoit now dropping Raven once.
Twice.
And here we go. 3 times a lady for Benoit.
3 times a woman.
1, 2. Oh, Daniel. He managed to get out of that. And here comes Billy Kidman stopping the match.
Oh, he's going to put out the kid.
Leave the kid, man. He hurts him. Here comes Loki.
Snap suplex on him.
Oh. And here comes Sick Boy. He was a sick boy. He had mental illnesses. Raven, though, pushing Riggs away. Riggs and Murtag can't even solve this case. Raven's got Benoit. Even flow DDT time.
But DDP comes in for the save. Oh, he gets hit by Benoit.
And now he's punching Raven. And now it's a 3-way.
Much like the death on that fateful night.
Oh, here comes Billy Kidman and the rest of the flock.
Back to back.
Back to back. Oh, nearly. Well, there's respect there, isn't there? Paige came out to help Benoit, even though he ended up with blows. Paige knocking. There we go. And maybe Raven with his flock can't get the upper hand on Paige and Benoit.
Was that Ravens Flock or was that Ravens NWO?
Fireworks, and it's the second hour.
And Nitro Girls.
Well, and it's Jericho versus Lenny Lane next.
Well, I wish we had this young talent now.
Yeah, I know. Absolutely brilliant with Jericho. But Lenny Lane's trying to take control. And this is the same hair match again.
I've even got it in the same style.
I know. Isn't it crazy how similar? Oh, Jericho, the Cruiserweight champion, came out here. Thought this would be an easy match against Lenny Lane, but he's in a little bit of trouble.
Well, that's Y2J2.
Right, it's Jericho now. Gonna maybe try to put Lenny Lane down. Lenny Lane.
No relation to Lois. No relationship. No relation to Lois.
And Lenny's in a bit of trouble. But what's weird though, Jared? What's weird though, Dan, is Jericho got hit with a skull-crushing finale, which is weird because he invented it, he said. Jericho used it in 2001 for a little bit and said the Miz then took it off him. So, what really happened? Was it just a generic move that was taken? You know, when you say you invent a move, that sometimes come back to haunt you, doesn't it? Because people have used it before. It's like saying Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't invent the stunner.
Yeah, but when you think of the skull-crushing finale, would the first name coming to mind be Lenny Lane?
It would not be Lenny Lane, but Jericho shouldn't say he invented it if he took it off another wrestler. You know, that's a bit.
Well,
naughty. So there was Jericho putting Lenny Lane away with the Lion Tamer. Jericho moves on in WCW.
Yes, and the commentators talk Sting and Scott again.
So the commentators talk Sting and Scott yet again.
Yes, next match up is Rick Steiner versus Vincent.
Yeah, Rick fucks up Vincent.
Top rope bulldog.
Neon face for the pin.
And Rick chokes and bites Vincent after.
Yeah, well, Bobby has joined the announce team.
For Yuji Nagata with Sonny Ono versus Perry Saturn.
We are told Rick Martel's knee ligament damage. Ouch, we were told about that at SuperBrawl, but now it's been confirmed.
Yes, it is the Nagata lock versus the Rings of Saturn.
Yeah, well, the Rings gets the job done after a hard-hitting match, and then Booker T versus the Renegade. We spoke about Renegade in, I think it's Controversial Characters Part 2. We spoke about Renegade, who was basically the Ultimate Warrior ripoff. This is just the end of the short match, kick to the face, and over and done with.
Yes, he certainly wasn't as impressive as the Ultimate Warrior.
No, and then we get the NWO music.
Yes, by himself. Well, Vincent did get fucked up earlier.
And he's versus Liz Mark Jr. Masked and caped, but unfortunately not as good as Rey Mysterio.
Well, James, got a fun fact for you. Yeah. Liz Mark Jr.'s dad created the Plancha Drive.
Oh, my word. Well, could say Cody didn't break a sweat, but he did, the fat bastard.
And I've got another fun fact for you, James.
Oh, go on.
Liz Mark is from Acapulco, and he is not going loco.
Not going loco, is it? Well, the loco for this match either. They didn't care. And the commentators were more interested in Scott's new hair. Yes,
well, next pay-per-view is Steiner versus Luger. Because why would we want to see brother versus brother?
Exactly, why? It's a Tequila Sunrise and K-Dog wins.
Yes, he gets the mic and talks gibberish or Spanish, I can't quite... But I did hear that he mentioned you.
Yeah, I heard that. Well, instead of for life, he said it's foregone conclusion. But he didn't come up with that.
Well, we are on to the third hour, and guess what, James? It's fireworks.
Yeah. And the Nitro girls round the commentary team and dancing away.
NWO music hits, and it's vicious and delicious. Buff looks happy. He's smirking.
No, he's not. He's not having a cigarette down. He's just got a smile on his face. Well, Norton looks roidy versus high voltage, which sounds like a Van Damme kick.
Or a boy band.
Yeah, or... Well, here it is. Kenny Chaos and Robbie Rage.
Danger, danger.
Look, I'm not saying everybody's on steroids in this match, but no, I am saying. Yeah.
Well, we cannot confirm nor deny that they all may or may not have been roided up.
Look. High voltage didn't look too bad until Norton double suplexed them and Buff Blocks did the job. I mean, look at the state of these four men in the ring here. I mean, like I say, I'm not saying they're on substance. They're taking other substances, but I think this kind of proves it. Look at that.
Oh, that was a bit of a botched double suplex on the two roided up blokes.
Yeah, well, and Buff, and high voltage. Unbelievable. Right, so then, next match, Eddie versus Disco.
Well, Disco, a fun character if used right.
Exactly. You got to have a little bit of fun with it, but, you can't really go too far. Eddie means business here tonight.
Yes, but there's loud Eddie sucks chants.
Yeah. And what would you rather take? Disco's kicks and punches or Eddie's chops and uppercuts?
Well, I'd rather take Eddie's chops and uppercuts because he's dead and can't deliver them that hard.
Well, Disco came close with a net breaker.
Well, front suplex, but Eddie used ref to get the advantage. Targeted leg and hit the frog splash for the win. Great.
Eddie looked great. Will WCW give him more, Dan?
Well, James, I know what we're going to give you more of.
What's that?
Nitro Girls!
Hey. And then we see Mean Gene with JJ and Hood.
Yes, he said the same. He says the same shit that happened at Starrcade happened last night. He sent Nick Patrick down and would like to speak to him now.
Well, JJ publicly thanked Nick, who said they get on like peanut butter and jelly.
Well, Nick gets back pay and suspension over.
Yeah, well, Brad Armstrong versus Ric Flair next. It's Ric Flair's first match since lost to Brett.
Standard Flair fair.
Yeah. Figure 4 victory and figure 4.
Yes, and same giant video plays as before.
Yeah, we've seen this about 3 or 4 times now. But now we're going to hear from him, Mean Gene, in the ring. Oh, it looks like he's in pain, but he's got a message there. What do you think of that, Dan?
Well, he certainly does have a message.
He does indeed. Well, after the ad break, Mean Gene's still in the ring, and he introduces Brian Adams.
Yes, and Gene asks him what he's doing with NWO and to Bret Hart. Adams tells him to shut up, and he will hit him. He joined the most elite faction, and he wouldn't go off his feet versus Bret. Bret comes down. Bret comes out, doesn't know what his beef is, but he will fight. Bret punches, but slammed by Adams. Bret responds by putting Adams' t-shirt over his head and punches him, and then puts him in the sharpshooter. Henning comes out, rude as well. Bret fights, but numbers get the better of him.
Yeah, but Flair arrives to help, just like last week. Funny thing is, Brian Adams said he wouldn't be knocked off his feet, and then Bret knocked him off his feet. I'm just saying.
Well, James, I don't want to miss a thing when it comes to Brian Adams.
That's the wrong one.
Oh, fucking hell. Don't
That's Aerosmith, don't want to miss a thing. Brian Adams, anything I do, Dan, I'll do it for you. That's what I'm telling you, Liz.
Well, everything Brian Adams does, he does it for me. Thank you.
Oh, so Bret wants to start with Henning, even though he's had problems with Brian Adams. But that's the WCW way. Ric Flair saying he's got Bret's back. Well, that's interesting. So Bret and Flair are now forming an alliance, and WCW just getting stronger by the day, isn't it, Dan?
Most definitely, yeah. But as we say that, the NWO flock to the ring. Mm-hmm. Not like Ravens.
No, it is the main event. It's Sting versus Scott Hall for the WWE title. Michael Buffer doing the introductions. He does all the main events and pay-per-views. He must be getting paid a pretty penny.
Yes, well, the entire NWO walks out, minus Hall.
Well, Hogan's board with Sting tonight belongs to Scott Hall. Well, there's a new face in the ring. Was that happened yet? No. There's not a new face yet. It will happen. So Bischoff saying if Sting comes out here, defends his title against Hall, the NWO will leave. I believe them, Dan.
NWO honour.
Yeah, well, they've got more than, even though I don't know where the world title is at the moment. Well, he came from the rafters earlier, didn't he? So, he couldn't really carry the belt with him.
But he's walking down now. He could have carried the belt.
Yeah, he could have, yeah. But maybe there's more places to put your stuff, unlike Sable's Flowers. So
the Sable's Flower went years ago.
And now the jerks, as Tony Schiavone says, leaving the ring. Oh, wait a minute. Who's that behind Sting? There's another Sting there. Now Vincent and Norton and this other Sting hitting Sting from behind.
Hits him 3 times with a baseball bat, and it doesn't seem to affect him. But it's Scott Hall dressed up in a Stinger outfit and Stinger t-shirt.
Why can't he just hit him from behind anyway? Sting gets thrown in, and now all the NWO are in. Scott Hall taking his shots on Sting, and now Sting getting beaten down.
Where's the WCW now?
Well, exactly. Where's Bret? Did Bret and Rick just leave then after that? You know what I mean? They just saw that happen and were just like, yeah, all right, we'll go.
Well, Bret wants Hennig. He's in the ring.
They're all in there. Rick Steiner as well. What about him? Oh, Outsider's Edge by Scott Hall. And he's next in line for Sting and the WCW World title.
He's got spray paint in his hands.
24 hours it took. Sting was victorious for 24 hours before he got embarrassed. And the NWO spray paint. And it's Macho Man coming down single-handedly.
Oh, Macho Madness. Can he take on the entire NWO on his own?
No.
No, he can't.
No, Rude grabbing him from out there as well. I mean, there must be, 10 members of the NWO at this point in time. I've not even counted them, that's how many there are. Scott saying, look at his muscle. Colin, Helen, Rude, Nash, Hall, Hogan, Norton, Vincent,
just
Bagwell. Yes, here comes a new member of the NWO getting in the ring. Who is this weird man? As Hogan hits the belts on Macho Man now. Well, that new man is Horace Hogan. Can you guess who he's related to, Dan?
Scott Hall.
He is Scott Hall's cousin, yeah. And
he looks a bit like Chuck Norris cross Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's going to be Chuck the Bounty Hunter.
Horace Hogan's going to have that on his Wikipedia page. That's the nicest thing anybody said about him. And beating down Macho Man, they're going to spray paint him. And Hollywood Hogan signature on Macho Man. Oh, and Luger.
Luger slides into the ring with a chair.
Well, one chair scatters the NWO. Where were you 10 minutes ago? But what a way to end Nitro. Dan, what are your thoughts on this episode?
Yeah. What were my thoughts?
Yeah, what were they?
It wasn't the greatest, was it? Let's be honest here.
No, but we had Scott Steiner's new look, didn't we? We had...
the Big Show returning.
Yeah, Big
Show.
Out. Jericho in singles action. Booker T, singles action. No Goldberg, which I thought we missed a little bit on this one.
Yeah, most definitely. It's kind of like they tried to fit a lot in.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we will be back in WCW in March, where we have a look at WCW Uncensored. But now we jump ship back to the WWF, and we're going to watch the last episode of Raw, which was Raw episode 248, the 23rd of February, and we'll compare the two shows. Video starts the show with a look back at the LOD and their history, and of course last week.
We see Hawk being put in a dumpster. Have LOD lost a step?
Well, they've not won in a long time, have they, on Raw? So it's going to be difficult. But up next, tag team titles are on the line next.
Well, we get the opening video and fireworks.
Mm-hmm. And we're in Waco, Texas. Don't mention the shooting. No.
The New Age out to the ring. See what it does?
Yeah, that was very clever, Dan. Very clever of you. Road Dogg on the mic, and of course, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. And they will send the LOD out with all the rubbish. So tag team titles on the line. So thoughts, Raw doesn't look as good. I know we've mentioned this before. The match quality is worse. But we started off here with an absolute brawl with the LOD and New Age Outlaws.
Yes, and they brawl for ages.
No, that's off. So here we go. The tag titles on the line, and Animal shoulder barging Road Dogg down. Road Dogg with a leapfrog. Tried it again.
Hits him with a powerbomb though.
And that could be it. No, Billy in to save him. Oh my God. And now Hawk's got his double Hawk back.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
And a double clothesline by the LOD. This might be their night of redemption.
Well, did all the power of LOD leave with Hawk's half a mohawk?
Well, it's crazy. You know, people might say, no, but we know a change of appearance for wrestlers sometimes is not good luck. You know, like The Undertaker's urn. For so long, that was his source of his power. Maybe the LOD. You know, without coming to the ring without the spikes and that intimidation, are they the same? It's a good question. Tonight, they look like the old LOD. The old LOD. The net breaker to Road Dogg.
Eliminates him from the Royal Rumble, sends him out to them wafer thin mats below, and immediately follows up after him.
Now Road Dogg getting punched at ringside. Oh!
But Billy Gunn from behind sends him into the stairs, and now he's kicking away at him.
Now, the Outlaws will be featured heavily on the WWF program recent times. Not only beating the LAD, but what they've done to, you know, Cactus and Chainsaw a few weeks ago. And that dumpster's heinous acts, goddamn. But the Outlaws are a good team, and now they're trying to take control on Hawk. Easier said than done, especially with the no selling in place.
Indeed, yes. But the fans certainly chanting for the LOD.
They're still over. You can't argue with that, you know. Out of all the shit we've seen on Raw, the LAD are still cheered, and they've still got that kind of respect, even if WWF didn't really know what to do with him. Road Dogg spits at Animal. He comes in and behind the referee's back.
Well, Billy Gunn getting involved, helping out his partner, Road Dogg.
And now double team on Hawk. Both back elbows. Billy for the cover. Will that be it? No.
Hawk with the kick out.
Ah.
Front face lock there from Billy Gunn.
Now he's just going to wear Hawk down.
LOD didn't get snapped up by WCW.
Yeah, I mean, they went a bit back and forth, between WWE and WCW, but at this moment in time, they kind of stuck with the WWF. We'll see what happens to them in the upcoming months. It's a little bit of fun as well. Well, Billy's in control, Irish whip, and he's going for a Billy splash. And he hits it a thumbs up to Road Dogg. This is easy, isn't it, Outlaws? Try it again. Oh,
Sternum first into the ring post, but as Hawk's reeling backwards, he hits Billy Gunn with an elbow. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it was effective.
A Hawk looking to get Animal in.
Get a hot tag.
Yeah, of course. Burning. There we go.
Animal's in. Animal's going crazy, and he's taken out an Animal in the Road Dogg.
Oh, my word. And now Irish whip to Billy. Shoulder blocked him down. Hawk and Animal working like a well-oiled machine.
Animal throwing Hawk into Road Dogg. God, there's a lot of animals and minerals and vegetables in there.
There is, and now the dog being picked up by the Animal.
Doomsday Device turns him inside out. Animal with the cover.
Thank you very much. And Earl Hebner distracted, and now he's checking out Hawk rather than what's going on in the ring. Look, he's getting the cover right in front of you, and you can't see it. And Billy's got the belt.
Oh, title bout to the head of Animal.
And as soon as he hits it, Road Dogg's in position. 2, 3. Now that is a screwy finish, and Earl Hebner's probably one of the worst at that. The distraction that never takes place. At least we've seen a lot of ref bumps. At least referee getting knocked down makes more sense than that. Yeah. It just makes him look like a fucking idiot, But a loss for LOD, Dan, and we were asking, as they lost a step, I think we've got to say yes.
Yeah.
Now asking Hawk the tough questions.
Oh, and now the LOD are turning on each other.
Oh, no!
Hawk and Animal brawling.
Well, we have never seen anything like this before. These partners have never turned on each other in their 20 years together.
No, it's really unexpected to see brothers turning on each other.
Well, do you think WWF has thought, well, LID aren't doing anything at the moment. Do we have them turn on each other?
Well, it would make sense if Hawk joined, say, DX.
Yeah. Well, this is 24 hours after the Steiners broke up. We are seeing the LOD breaking up as well. And JR saying this is shocking, and they're selling it as, with the Steiners as saying that we've never seen before. And we've never seen Hawk and Animal come to blows, have we, to be fair?
No.
And the officials there, and they brawl for ages, Dan, honestly, until Animal just leaves. Well, Kelly, Cole, and JR on commentary recap what we've just seen.
As if we didn't already know what we'd just seen. But the next match is Ken Shamrock versus Jeff Jarrett.
I should say Michael Cole now has been 20 years still doing the same job. That should be awarded for him, Fair play, Michael Cole.
Yeah, fair play to him. Well, no robe for Ken. Maybe he's not important enough match.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I love the fist to the face for the entrance. When he used to go, I love it.
Himself, yeah.
I know people can't see that, but Dan appreciates it.
I do.
Yeah. Well,
the can do it harder.
Yeah, the NWA North American champ is Jeff Jarrett.
Yes, I think the question is, why the fuck has the NWA been on Raw?
Well, the year 1998, and WCW was killing WWF in the Monday Night Wars. They struck gold with the NWO takeover, and this left WWF reeling. The bloodletting wouldn't stop for the Fed as the entire company plunged more and more into disarray as top talent was jumping ship to the WCW.
Well, how could Vince McMahon possibly compete against Eric Bischoff? A man who threw Ted Turner's money around like it was nothing and was behind one of the hottest angles in wrestling ever. It's still talked about to this day. Well, enter the NWA, the National Wrestling Alliance. The NWA is the oldest wrestling sanctioning body, but the NWA of 1998 was a joke. Compared to its former self, the territories were dead, gone, a dried up relic of days past.
Well, all the top talent in the country were either working for the working for the WWF, WCW or ECW, but McMahon was desperate, and brought in Dennis Cazzulo, the head of the NWA, Corelluzzo, along with Jim Cornette an NWA mainstay, brought the NWA titles with them, and that's the angle was set to fail.
Well, only the most hardcore of wrestling fans knew about the long and fabled history of the NWO, leaving the casual wrestling fan of the day in the dark.
Who cared about the NWA North American Heavyweight Championship? It was a title my grandpa probably knew and followed, but anything to gain ratings will do.
Well, Jeff Jarrett, a career mid-carder, defeated Blackjack Wyndham to win the NWA North American title after Cornette interfered on his behalf. Shortly thereafter, they were joined by the Rock and Roll Express, and the NWO stable was formed.
Worthless title number 2, the NWA World Tag Team Championship, was awarded to the Rock and Roll Express by Jim Cornette. They defended it a couple of times against other jobber teams and no one cared. But if you listen closely, you could hear Eric Bischoff laughing while throwing big heaps of cash in the air.
Well, the NWA gained another member as Blackjack Barry Windham turned on his partner, Blackjack Bradshaw. NWA title match between Bradshaw and Jeff Jarrett.
Well, this was odd to me as the original Blackjacks were a big part of the NWA. It would seem fitting to add the new Blackjacks to the NWA stable. It wasn't like they were doing much to begin with.
Well, while the NWO had high-profile feuds, the NWA battled against the likes of Bradshaw and the Headbangers, a real 5-star match material.
Well, their angle started in December of 97. By March of 98, it was way past abysmal. Or Jarrett left and vacated Grandpa's title, while the Rock and Roll Express were kicked out for losing the NWA tag titles to the Headbangers.
Worry not, for their replacements would be the jobber team of the bombastic Bob Holly, the bodacious Bart Gunn, the new Midnight Express. More on them in the upcoming months.
Yeah, well, back to the match, and Cornette is with Jeff Jarrett. And JR tells us, according to Ken, Shamrock will face The Rock at WrestleMania for the...
Well, Shamrock starts strong, but thanks to Jim, Jeff Jarrett takes over. Jim on the apron, Ken pushes JJ into Jim, roll up for 2. Ref poked in the eyes. Jim gets in with the racket, swings for Ken, but hits JJ. Horribly done.
Yep, Shamrock wins, and JJ walking up the ramp. Cole tries to get a word. Jeff Jarrett said it's time they went their separate ways.
Well, Mania moment, and it's HBK from WrestleMania 12.
And we are 5 weeks away from WrestleMania 14.
23, well, the King tries to talk to Animal.
Well, here we go. Can he get a word with Animal? No, he can't. Oh, no.
And they begin to brawl again.
Yeah, Hawk's there, and here we go. We get the enhancement talent trying to stop him. Well, Frustration and Rage. That is a good name for a tag team, Dan.
Yes. Well, we get a 6-man tag match next, and it is DOA versus Recon, Sniper, and Kurrigan.
But Kurrigan is not part of the Truth Commission.
Well, James, that is a very valid point, but the WWE did some shit in the 1998. It gets forgotten because it's the Attitude Era. But trust me, this is drizzly shit.
When you read it like that, it sounds bad. Makes me think WWF didn't want people to watch at this moment in time.
Well, a horrible match, not even... JR tries to put over the Kurrigan, but he can't sell me.
No, he can't. The Paralyzer is Kurrigan's finish, which is the claw.
The dreaded claw. Well, Jackal slapped Sniper. He went for him. Kurrigan laid him out.
Yeah. Look at that way he lays him out, eh? With the claw. Look at Jackal.
Can we see Sonny come out dressed like a whore?
Yeah, of course we can. So now we're with the commentary team of JR, Mark Cole and Kevin Kelly. We're going to get words with Shawn Michaels in his home. So Michaels saying he wants to be there next week, where it's going to be Austin, Owen Hart, Mike Tyson. It's going to be huge in Cleveland, which means tonight's episode not going to be that great. You can tune out if you want, because it all starts next week. Michael says he guarantees to beat Austin and WrestleMania will be X-rated. Oh. Exactly, I wasn't lying. Sunny comes out dressed like a whore. When isn't she dressed like a whore?
Well, she asks if things are bigger in Texas. Awful voice, and she's the ring announcer.
Yeah, it's Taka Michinoku versus Barry Windham next.
Wow. Well, the NWA Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, here we go. It's the start of the NWA Monday Night Raw. We can't wait. It's the NWA taking over. Jim Cornette joins the announced team. Jim Cornette hates Texas.
Well, Barry in chaps. Not many people can pull it off.
No, Barry's got power moves.
But Taka's got the springboard.
Sushi appetizer from Jim, some light-hearted racism.
Of course.
Yeah. And then the lariat. But before anything else, unfortunately, Kane is out here. And the NWA boys are in serious trouble. Oh, you're joking. The NWA team have left, leaving Taka Michinoku all by himself to meet the monster Kane. I'm sure he'll be all right.
Well, a bit of choppy PP.
Some light-hearted racism there, everybody.
Taka Michinoku's playing dead in the middle of the ring. He's like, if I don't move, hopefully he won't see me.
Oh, God. If the punishment wasn't enough, I'm sure he'll leave him alone. Oh, my God. And Kane just chokeslams Taka Michinoku back to Japan, where he's not Gojira, but he is in serious trouble.
Wow, and he tombstones him right through the centre of the earth back to Japan.
Fuck me with a tombstone.
That was more devastating than Hiroshima.
Yeah, it was horrible. And Kane's here to make a challenge. So Paul Bearer and Kane challenging Steve Austin down. I mean, what do you think of that? That is a bombshell.
Yes, that certainly is a bombshell. And why is he targeting Austin? Is he the strongest force in the WWF at the moment?
I think he's got to be, isn't he? You know, The Undertaker's gone, Vader's gone now. There's not that many other big men. And Steve Austin going around saying he could beat anybody. I think Kane's thinking, if I can put Austin away, I might get an opportunity at WrestleMania as well for that WWF title. He could even tombstone Mike Tyson, Kane, at this moment in time. The most dominant force of nature that we've seen. So up next it is Warzone.
Yes, and JR Caps on LOD at the start of the show.
And the King has, of course, joined the commentary team. Well, the Warzone video and fireworks. But what is the difference now? Why do people want to know? Why does it go Warzone?
Well, Warzone was on at 10, 11-ish, so it could be more edgier and after the kids went to bed.
You would say that, wouldn't you?
After you've tucked them in.
I told them a night's day anyway. Cole gets comments from the Outlaws as they're leaving the arena. Billy says how good they are, and LOD is dead. Road Dogg says it's a new age. It's a new age. Yes, it is. Wow. Dan, do you want to see something really weird? Should it be this colour? No, seriously. So the Billy Gunn and Road Dogg happy about their exploits here tonight, mocking the LOD. Chainsaw Charlie with a chainsaw.
Cactus Jack with a baseball bat.
And Chainsaw Charlie with a chainsaw. Harley. Look at that. Destroying the car. Well, the Outlaws should stay where they are.
Well, the sparks are coming from the chainsaw, not from the...
Well, he got the door open. The door's open. And he's looking to attack Road Dogg. Chainsaw Charlie gets knocked in his arse in the car. Oh my God, slowly driving away. Cactus aims for the car and hits it. Well, this is not over from the Outlaws and Chainsaw Charlie.
Certainly not.
Right, yeah.
That was weird.
Oh, no, I'm going to show something even weirder now.
American Dream. He's just a common man, working hard with his hands. He's just a common man, working hard for the man. Hey, he's American dream. Hey, he's American dream.
It's the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
Dustin Rhodes.
Yes, this is so weird. Oh, that's just Dusty Rhodes. Well, WWF said they spoke with Dusty and he's cool with it. But that's in another company. Hey. And speaking of strapping young men, is Bradshaw better or worse than Kurgan or Sniper or Recon? You know, they're all big guys, aren't they?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't mind Bradshaw. I think, you know, he had the longevity. His gimmick up a few times, obviously. You know, after this, he'll shortly be part of the APA. Then he'd be John Bradshaw Layfield, the New York stockbroker.
Yeah. So there's a lot of changes. I think he had a little bit of something about him. We'll see how he does against Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream.
He certainly is a character.
That's the one way of saying it, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute, though. Dust. Oh!
No, Bradshaw finishes it with a clothesline from hell.
Oh,
and
my
gets
God.
the 1, 2, 3.
Well, after this weird happening, Cole tries to get a word with Dust. He says he won't be wearing that outfit again.
Yes, and then Kevin Kelly tries to get a word with Hawk, but he just walks out the building. How rude of him.
Exactly. Next match, Steve Blackman versus The Rock.
The aluminous.
Yeah, well, I didn't spell it right, but luminous nunchucks that Steve Blackman had when he came out look really fucking...
Well, JR says there will be a major celeb announcement for Mania tonight.
Yes, so a major celeb announcement. So who will it be? What major celebrity?
Major celebrity.
Well, Blackman upset Fruit last week, and can he stop... last week, can The Rock stop unbeaten Lethal Weapon?
Well, Blackman gets distracted by D'Lo.
Well, Nation elbow. Farouk not impressed, shouting, "What are you doing?" Blackman comeback. Rock stops it, and now we go right towards the end. Oh no! Rock Irish whipped into Farouk. Rock saying, "What are you doing?" No.
1, 2. Oh.
Kick out by The Rock.
Ah.
Now the right hands to Steve Blackman. Look to put him away. Oh, look at that DDT. It's a thing of beauty.
Goes for a cover.
Oh, come on, Farouk.
Farouk, why are you distracting the referee?
And what is this about? And D'Lo's got the luminous nunchucks there. Behind the referee's back. Go on, Farouk. There you go, that's it. Oh.
Throws him over the Rock's head. Blackman catches him.
Oh.
Belts Rock round the back of the head of him. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Steve Blackman's just pinned the Intercontinental Champion. But is that thanks to D'Lo or Farouk?
What went on there?
Oh my God. Well, D'Lo saying it was his mistake. And Karma and Mark Henry questioning him.
They asking Farouk, did you tell him to throw him over?
And D'Lo saying, no, Farouk told me to throw the nunchucks. And The Rock saying to Farouk, get your ass in the ring right now, explain to me. Well, Farouk not backing down, of course, being the leader of the nation. I don't think Farouk's mucking around anymore.
He's calling the nation to go back with him.
And The Rock's got a quizzical look at his face. And Farouk walking away with the rest of the nation. My God. Well, undefeated still. Is Steve Blackman W's answer to Bill Goldberg, maybe?
No.
Well, the crowd tried to chant Farouk, but his name's quite difficult. Farouk. You can't really do that.
Yeah.
So Rocky sucks instead.
Well, that's a lot easier. Well, after this, Luna's backstage and she wants Sable.
Yeah. She is nasty.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, that's nasty. JR with Kane. Update, Vader needs reconstructed surgery.
After getting hit in the face with that wrench, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we get an update on Cactus and Funk. They are not dead, which is nice.
Yeah, we've seen Cactus and Funk earlier. We're not sure the condition, but they are ready to compete yet again. The NWA Tag Team titles on the line. Next.
Well, Sergeant S. Laughter appoints WWF official and WWF rules.
So no throwing over the top rope for any of the shenanigans like that. Looked like the Rock and Roll Express might fight each other, but Jim calmed them down and they hugged it out.
Well, Rock and Roll took control.
Hot tag, ref distracted, Jig comes into the ring, hits Thrash on the back, who lands on Morton to win the title. Cornette looked like the biggest fucking idiot in these two segments here tonight.
Yes, but James, it is time for the huge celebrity.
And who is this huge celebrity, Dan? Please tell me.
Pete Rose.
Pete Rose. Who?
Major League all-time leading hit scorer or something like that.
Oh,
baseball.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Well, he's not a huge celebrity, really, is he? Wow. We get a video of Austin stuttering and swearing since 1996 and his journey to the WF title and the match versus Michaels.
Yes, so the main event is Mark Mero versus Owen Hart. What?
Well, the European title was on the line. Mero sends Sable away. Sable's back after 2 minutes of...
Well, I'd like to give Sable 2 minutes of action.
So this is the end. This is the end of it. Mero and Owen. Hey, Mero, look at the corner. Look at those big right hands. Former Golden Glove champion, of course. Let's not forget.
Mero pie faces the referee away.
Well, that wasn't smart. That's surely a disqualification.
Well, don't call me Shirley, but it does look like he should deserve to be disqualified for that. But he hits a low blow on Owen Hart.
I know why he's so happy with himself as well. That's illegal. Now going for the TKO.
Owen reverses and counters into a DDT.
And now is it time for the sharpshooter, the Black Heart. Oh, my God. Sharpshooter time. Doesn't matter, disqualification. So the winner is Owen Hart regardless. What a great way to end Raw, eh? Sable comes now. Here comes Sable. Not I forgot Brock Lesnar. Oh my God, Luna wants some of Sable. She said she did. And even Goldust can't stop Luna. They're going to get it on.
Oh.
No, everybody's frustrating Sable and Luna at this time. The fans want to see him get it on.
Wow, it's all hell's breaking loose between these two Jezebels.
My God, Sable's popping out of her top there. So that was Monday Night Raw. Mero pushed down again.
Now, Goldust is trying to restrain Sable. I don't think Mark Mero's jealousy is going to like that.
No, he goes straight to him, knock out Goldust. And now Mero, he's having to be restrained. Yeah, go on, you grab Sable, yeah. Or I had to grab her to stop her. My God, what chaotic way to end Raw. And they're treating Sable like a main event as well. That's what's crazy about it. This whole storyline with Sable has been featured in the last 3 Raws, you know. I know we're building towards WrestleMania, but there's a time and a place. You can see where even though we didn't have the main event over in WCW, it was still the NWA with Sting and everything like that involved. So that's Raw.
Wow.
Sable said, you better get your ass back here, you little bee. Luna pushes Goldust, and this is not finished just yet. Alright, so now we've got a lot to process. We have watched 5 episodes of Nitro, 5 episodes of Raw. We've seen bits of No Way Out, pay-per-view, and of course WCW SuperBrawl. We really talk about the matches on SuperBrawl, so that's fine. So what we're going to do, we've got the main events, go all the way. So we're going to compare the two, and then we'll give our 5-point system in place. So we've got WCW Nitro main event, January 26th, was Luger versus Hall.
Yes, and the WWF Raw main event, January 26th, was Triple H, or Goldust, versus Owen Hart.
On WCW Nitro, on February 2nd, was Sting versus Macho Man.
The WWF Raw main event on February 2nd was Austin versus the Road Dogg.
WCW Nitro main event, February 9th, was Steiners versus the Outsiders.
And then on Raw, it was Goldust versus Thrasher.
WCW Nitro main event, February 16th, Sting and Luger versus Macho and Hogan.
And on Raw, it was Goldust and Mark Mero versus Cactus and Funk.
And on Nitro, February 23rd, Sting versus Hall, but that never takes place, so maybe Armstrong versus Flair?
Yeah. And on Raw, it was Mark Mero versus Owen Hart.
I mean, if you compare the two, Nitro pisses all over that for main event, doesn't it? You know,
definitely, yeah.
Maybe even Austin Road Dogg, you would think, might have a chance, but then again, you know, it is Road Dogg. We look at the ratings, we're not going to look at January, we're going to look at the February ratings, and, you know, compare the two shows as well. So the show that had Raw, I'll do the Raw ratings, then you can do Nitro ones. So the one that had Triple H was Goldust versus Triple H versus Owen Hart. It pulled a 3.5 on the 2nd of February.
Yes, and the Sting versus Macho was a 4.9.
Yeah, Austin versus Road Dogg, February 2nd. No, we did that one. No, sorry, fuck that up then. So February 2nd, yeah, 3.5 was Austin versus Road Dogg. February 9th, which was Goldust Thrasher, 3.2.
The Steiners versus Outsiders was a 4.6.
On the 16th of February, that was a Saturday Raw, and the main event of that was Gold Cactus and Funk, so that don't really count.
Yep, Sting and Luger versus Macho and Hogan was a 5.1.
Yeah, so unopposed, that pulled in that many viewers. And then finally, what we just see there, Mero and Owen Hart, 3.2 in the ratings.
And the Sting versus Hall, so Brad Armstrong versus Ric Flair was a 4.6 on the ratings.
Okay, so, and then finally, WF No Way Out 1998, which was the 15th of February, it's got 0.52 buy rates, it was available in 36,310,541 homes, and it had 188,814 buys.
Yes, and SuperBrawl 8 was a 1.1 buy rate, so basically double what the No Way Out one was, and that was available in 36,310,541, and that was available, that was equal to 399,415 buys.
So at this moment in time, mate, looking back 20 years, not only was the ratings in Nitro's favour, but obviously the pay-per-views were as well. What's incredible to think in a couple of months' time it would all change. Why is this? You know, we're building towards WrestleMania, but Nitro at the moment is winning. So now we've got our 5-point system down. We're going to just rate each one, give them a score. So, matches for Raw this month.
The matchups.
Yeah, what did you think of the match, please?
Well, the match quality for WWE, I gave that a 2.5.
And for Nitro?
For Nitro, I gave that a 4.
For my match quality on Raw, I gave that a 2. And with Nitro, I gave... Oh, yeah, that's cool. I got a feeling Nitro won this month, but let's just check the results. Promos, what do you think were better, Raw or Nitro?
I think WWE's.
Yeah?
I gave that a 3.5, and I gave WCW a 3.
I gave Nitro a bit ahead there. I gave that 3.5 rather than a 3 to Raw. So I think with the promos, I just think it's sleeker in WCW. You know, with Mean Gene doing it and the kind of. I know with the video packages themselves, Raw has Nitro beat, but I think everything else, Nitro's putting it that way. What about the setting, the kind of look of the show?
Setting, I've given WCW a 4 because they've got their little banister that it's not kind of like a video thing, but it's got their picture and it's got their name rolling across it and it looks a lot better. And WWE gave that a 2.5 because it just looks really bland.
Yeah, I completely agree with it. I'm the same with that. Nitro does look like, again, fresher and bigger company, bigger look, better look, isn't it? Yeah. Roster. Nitro is 4 out of 5. It's fantastic roster. We want to see more of the people there. With Raw, for me, thought it was lacking a little bit. Even though you've got main event stars, it's like 2 out of 5 at the moment. You know.
Well, I've given WWE a 3 out of 5 because I still think there are some big star names in there, some long lasters, and some great talent. And I've given WCW a 4.
And the rating of each show we've watched, I would say Nitro maybe is slightly better than Raw, but I think the kind of storylines that we've seen on Raw have made more sense. So I think that's quite equal, but I'm just going to nudge Nitro. That's going to be, I'm going to give that a 4 and I give Raw 3.5 because I have enjoyed the shows.
Well, on that rating, match quality, a 4 for WCW and a 2.5 for WWE. But on the storyline, I've given WWE a 4 and WCW a 3.
That's
so it's
fair.
kind of like, it equals it out.
But overall rating, what wins this month, Dan? Is it Raw or is it Nitro?
WCW.
Yeah, I think Nitro wins for me as well. Just because of the kind of overall show and the kind of the look that we've had. Doesn't matter about the question. So next episode is the WWE Elimination Chamber 2018. It's quite incredible that we're there already. That is the next time we'll be with you. We'll be back next month for WCW versus WWE again. We'll have WrestleMania 14 and we'll have another show. It'll be a 2-part where we look at the Nitros and Raws from March. But that is it. Before we go, don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WWE Network Review or
at Vince McDan, WWE.
I'm at J_Rollins. We've also got a friend on Twitter.
Yes, we have. His Mini Chris Benoit, just trying to make the world a better place, and you can follow him at Mini Chris Benoit.
Across all the Google platforms, WWE Network Review, Google+. Send us an email at WNRpodcast@gmail.com. We're also on Facebook.
You can come and find our page, WWE Network Review, or you can come and find me and add me as a friend. I am Vince McDan.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, WWE Network Review Podcast. We've got clips go up there daily, podcasts go at the same time. We do other places like SoundCloud.
On your phone.
We're on Stitcher Radio, Spreaker Radio. We're going to have our live shows and iTunes where you can download, subscribe, rate and review there. But that is it. Like I said, next episode, Elimination Chamber 2018. But until then, I have been James Rollins, and as always, I was joined by
Dan White.
Thanks for listening, everybody, and bye.
Bye.